Yo, tits up, Shades here. You know you can interact with BACC Talk. You can email us at backtalkus@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook. The official page is BACC Talk. The fan group is the Backpack Fan Page. Also tweet at us at BACC Talk. Now enjoy the show.
And now, get ready for some idiots talking about shit. Here is Justin, Tony, Destin, Andy. It's BACC Talk.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Look what is going on. You got three normal guys sitting here, and we are without a big asshole. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be wonderful. I'm actually going to get to fucking talk tonight because somebody's not going to, shut me up every 2 seconds talking over me. I've talked more here in the fucking last 30 seconds than I have this whole damn podcast.
Ain't that the truth? As we start out every show, tits up, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Justin, you got some coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
You guys know I might have one a little bit later, but...
Is that your Wawa coffee, as you guys talk about out there?
No, it's a double D.
Oh,
It's a
boy.
double D.
Double Ds.
Yeah,
Man.
Wawa is good for when nothing else is open. That's kind of how I got used to going there. So, yeah, and their coffee's okay.
So, yeah, we are missing Shades today. He's feeling underneath the weather or whatever he wants to call himself. He's sleeping on the couch, probably doing whatever. But like Tony said, we all can have some more fun without him. Oh, we got a new Shades guy.
You gotta have shades on. This is not gonna last. But we're all wearing glasses now.
Hey, you got that keyboard in front of you. You look like, what's his name, the piano player?
Oh, Ray Charles?
Ray Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe I'll go blackface and get canceled.
Culture. So, Tony, how was your
You
week?
literally can't touch that these days, you know?
No, you can't.
No, can't.
I don't even think I could say as much as I did.
Yeah.
With the blackface thing going on now. I think like the fact that I mention it is just like, what the fuck is that? Stop talking about it. Anyway, I had a friend go as a black entertainer one time, and if you can imagine, they browned their face up, and obviously you don't see those pictures on Facebook anymore. Like they were all like scrubbed.
So you're talking like Halloween or what?
Yeah, it was Halloween.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't mean to cut in there. I just
No, you're
It
good.
was about time. It was about time. BACC Talk brought up blackface and how and how important it is for Halloween costumes to fit the part. I don't know. Andy, don't edit this out. I didn't say anything offensive yet.
Yet. So Tony, how was your week?
Oh, it was good. Worked all week. Weekend, went and played bingo Saturday night, so I won some money, so I was pretty excited there. Third time going, and now I am 3-0 at the bingo hall. So,
At the
Good.
bingo hall. That's good. So you're
3-0.
walking out ahead.
A little bit. Usually it's breaking even, but still,
Are we splitting that 4 ways as well? I wasn't sure.
No, I already had to give half up to the wife for her cousin's baby shower. And I had to chip in on, so.
Ugh. Yeah. More reasons to buy presents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this Powerball and Mega Millions that keeps growing. We might eventually win it. I keep getting a Powerball or something like the Mega Ball.
Yeah.
or
What?
whatever.
All right. Let's suss this out right now. Which one are we getting? Because I can do $10 a week. Which one is it?
Well, there's.
Now, it's the Powerball now because somebody won the Mega. So now it's just
fuckers.
Powerball.
How much is that for?
Same thing as the Megas. We've been doing $10 a drawing.
No, I think he means like how much is it?
How much
hang
do
on.
I win?
I got you. Hold on.
It's got to be around 500 mil now, ain't it?
It is 480.
480.
All right, good. So it's above 350. We're buying in, or is there a different number? Okay. All right. Well, yeah, because I got confused when I went to buy them, and I didn't have my phone, so I couldn't see what you guys were buying. And then after the fact, when I went in to post my picture, I'm like, these fuckers are buying like both of them.
No, that's what I was like. The same concept. I was like, God, they're buying both of them. I didn't know we were going balls deep here.
I didn't
No.
either. thought it was just Powerball, and then I bought a Mega, and then I didn't see Andy.
I'm fucking dumb because I got Mega. I thought it was Mega this whole time. What were we doing last time?
Mega Millions, yeah.
We're
Okay, that's
doing
probably why.
kind of both. So.
But now it's
Alright.
Powerball.
So now we're doing Powerball, not Mega. Somebody won this, huh?
Yeah, and my one single line just still hasn't won anything, so I've got 3 more chances. So we'll see how that goes.
How much did you win at bingo? If you don't mind.
I won 50 at bingo, so it was 25 to play. So yeah, at least broke even.
Right, because you and your wife went, right?
Yeah, went with her and then her cousin and her husband. So let me ask this: how long has it been since you guys played bingo?
About 3 weeks ago.
43 years.
All right. Fine, okay.
For no reason whatsoever. I don't think it's ever come up that I've gone to a bingo thing, but I'm not averse to it,
It's really a good time. You wouldn't think so, but it is a good time. So when you play bingo, do they play regular bingo or do they play some weird special bingo?
Both. If we go, it's at a casino usually around here.
Okay.
But they play all different types of games. I mean, we went to a casino up in the cities at one time, and they played a game. It was hot dog in a bun was the name of the game.
Wow.
I don't remember how you had to win, like what combination you needed, but I was like, this is entertaining.
Yeah. Our regular bingo is weird because normal bingo, you can do diagonal or straight up and down or 4 corners, right?
Yep.
That's pretty much what I think. Well, these people, they can do 4 corners. You can do a stamp. You can do a regular bingo up and down, diagonal, or you can do like a big diamond where you have 1 in the middle on the top, the 2 on the sides, and then down 1 on the bottom. That's regular bingo. Then they play this weird special bingo too, where you got to do other stuff.
So that's what you can win in a regular bingo. Like each game you play, that's each way you could win.
Yeah, in a regular. Yeah.
I would lose my head.
Yeah.
That's a lot to watch for.
I guess you get used to it.
That's why I keep winning, and everybody I go with does not win because, like Ashley, she's just concentrated as hard as she can, which she's trying to win and I guess beat me, but it's okay. And I'm just looking at this board trying to figure out which little diagonal way I can go to win this. And you got all these old people with their bingo bags and 10 dabbers that they have, and it's nuts.
Yeah, when we go to the casino, my wife does the dabbing part and then I get a machine. The machine does my bingo for me, so I can help her watch her 20 some cards they give you.
It's a thing, huh? It's like almost like
I got
into
bingo when I was a kid before it was considered gambling. Like in Minnesota, I mean, you gotta be 18 now. I think most places to play it now it's considered gambling. But my grandma always took us, and that's how I got into it. I think it was like a couple day a week thing that we went with my grandma. It was like time to chill out with grandma and play bingo, and she'd pay for it. We'd win. We get to keep the money. We felt so cool, but now it's just like let's just randomly do it. But
yeah, it doesn't sound as like degenerative as like most gambling. I think that there's at least something you enjoy about it. I mean, not that people don't enjoy going to the casino, but I don't know. Yeah, it's like something more wholesome about it, like you said with grandma and shit. Yeah. Although, I used to hang out with my grandma at the fucking slot machine, so to each his own.
Well, but back then, like I was saying though, I mean, they had it in like every town pretty much had bingo like once a night or something like that. So you could just play bingo every night if you wanted to. Nowadays, it's far and few between. Like around here, some of our bars are doing it now just to bring people in the bar, basically. But
that's cool. Yeah, they have sexy bingo. I don't know what
bingo?
that is. I never hung around to figure out what the sexy part was. I guess they hire somebody like Adam Levine to host it. You thought I was gonna say a girl, didn't you? Zing. Right. But it's better than him singing, is what I'm saying. So he can call numbers.
Yeah, but he'd be singing the numbers. Guy. He'd be singing the numbers.
Yeah. Oh God, no. Yeah, no thanks. But sexy bingo, like to kind of drum up business. That's been happening in the bars. I don't know anything about regular bingo though. I've only heard sexy bingo in bars around here. So they kind of have to.
Never heard of sexy bingo.
Yeah, they got to bring the va-va-voom if it's going to be in the bar at all around here. But I heard churches around here a lot do them. So, and for a while it was Coach Bag Bingo. I don't know if you guys have that.
No.
Coach bags were all the rage at one point.
Yeah, they were the rage.
I don't know if they still are. I still don't carry a purse, so
Dude, you don't carry a satchel?
I do carry a backpack. All right, I love backpacks. I'm almost buying backpacks every day. I don't know why. I just like backpacks. What are items you guys like to buy? Like you're kind of like into. I know as men we probably don't have any.
Probably
right?
not as much as like what girls are. Like my wife used to just buy purses all the time. She'd see a purse, I gotta buy it. But
Mhm.
no, I guess I mean mine are more like collectibles. If I see something I want to collect,
What do you collect? Like specifically, like big
baseball
action figures?
cards,
Okay.
stuff like that. I got a die cast car collection for like NASCAR and stuff like that. I guess I don't really have to go out and go if it's not nothing that I have to buy all the time, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. I guess
Hmm.
I'm not
Do you
going out
happen?
and buying stuff all the time like, girls got to buy a new lipstick every time they go to Walmart or
Right, and I get that. You know how often I shop at and pick stuff up and then don't buy it? Like that's what I'm great at doing.
Yep.
Like I carry it around the store and I own it for like that 45 minutes and then, as I go to leave, I'm like, yeah, I don't really need this anymore. What is that? Oh,
This is
cans?
this is my
Can
no. This is candles. This is my wife's collection.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
They will
Fuck
never
yeah.
burn.
They will never
No?
burn.
She
No,
doesn't use them, huh?
no.
I'm
See,
just
I
trying to
both
figure out what the cat's doing there.
she's trying to have her candles and burn them too, you know? You can't have your candles and burn them too. Does she have candles that she burns and those are just ones she likes?
No, I
Oh,
gotta buy.
wow.
I buy candles. So we go to Candle Day every year. I didn't know this was a thing.
Wow,
Candle
where's
Day.
that going?
Yeah, until I met this woman. Bath and Body Works has a Candle Day every year. It's in December, usually like the beginning of December. They're like $9 a candle, but normally they're $25 a
Oh,
candle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So like $9 a candle. She gets coupons. Stack those on top of that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. We have to do like 7 transactions. Yeah.
So if you wanted to burn a candle and she came home, she'd know right away that you burnt one of her candles.
If it was one of hers, I would die.
Would she be like going nuts trying to replace it? Like that one's from like December 2014. We can't get that anymore. Like,
Maybe. So yeah, but I have to buy the candles, which is fine because I like to burn candles.
but you
So-
don't burn them.
The ones
I
you
do.
the ones you
I
buy
buy-
you burn.
Yes.
That stack you showed, can you burn those? It's just that she buys them and wants them and doesn't burn them, or are those the unburnables?
Those are right now the unburnables, but she always gets more, so that pile keeps growing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah,
see.
it's just
I like to buy candles. For a while, I was doing the sticks,
the incense.
but it all just smells the same. So at
Right.
least to me, it does. Maybe that's just a colorblind thing, but it's like what flavor did you get? Burning stick, Oh, okay,
Burning
cool.
stick. Sweet.
It says thallus malete or whatever, but it smells like like I fucking pitched a fire behind my house. Like, so I'm kind of back to candles now, and I do. It's funny you brought up candles because I found a candle kind of in a corner where it fell, and I'm like, bought that and then forgot it existed, and I just found it yesterday. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna burn that. Oh shit.
So
So
what-
we got. So the collection, that's cool. I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you guys if you were into collecting, because I see a lot of people collecting stuff because I do eBay now, and they kind of tell you what to watch out for that's hot, and what's hot right now is figures. So I guess wrestling figures kind of fall into that too, that
Yeah.
are made by a specific company. I can't remember what, but
I never really collected figures per se. I mean, if I got a figure for Christmas, I opened it and played with it. So I
Mhm.
can't really say it's a collectible.
Yeah.
I mean, but you look back now, it's like, God, I wish I would have not opened that package.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have
figures.
I
My
have
dad. Oh,
you
your
have
dad
what, Star
does?
Wars?
Star Wars. Yeah. I
Wow.
have Star
Do you
Wars.
have do you have the thing that they go in, the fucking Death Star or whatever they sold, like that?
No.
Ah.
No.
You could probably find it now, it'll probably be worth millions.
Oh my God, it's like 10 grand to buy
Yeah.
one of those things now. and the Millennium Falcon in a specific way is like ridiculously priced.
Yeah.
I just don't think those movies are that great. You know, we could talk about Star Wars for hours. Like, I don't think that they're like amazing cinema, you know? And I think the more they make, the more it kind of takes away from the original ones that are good. What do you guys think about that?
I never really got into Star Wars, but going into like by what originals are and like making them now, I'd rather watch original movies, like the older movies. Overall, period.
And nothing like the special effects like back then.
Yeah.
Now it's just like computer, the movie, and like I'm done being amazed, you know.
Right. I mean, you're going back to like what you were talking about with dolls. I guess I have one doll. It's a Joe Montana rookie doll. It stands about this tall. It's kind of hard to see.
Oh, cool.
Never been out of the box.
Wow. How much is that worth? Have you looked?
No idea. I don't even want to look because I'd sell it probably in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. But you also don't want to part with it either.
No, and to be honest, I randomly got it at an auction. It was in one of we used to do auctions at my hometown, and they put this doll in a box. I bought the box for $1.
Wow.
And then there was a board that somebody made that had back in the day, I can't remember the card company, but they made cards for each Super Bowl, like collector cards. So I got Super Bowl like 1 through like 25, I think, in a collector card set.
Yeah.
But
man, those happen upon things that you find, like you with the Joe Montana thing. It's like, man, that was a lucky thing, like to be there and get that. Those are some fun stories. My mom recently found money in a thrift store coat she bought, and let's say it was enough to buy. It was enough to be substantial. It wasn't like finding a 20, which is great when you find your own 20 like 6 months later.
Yeah.
But like, but it was substantial, and that's cool. Just like stuff like that is cool. I guess
I guess I never really got that lucky doing that.
No. I found a $10 bill outside of Wawa recently, and I don't know if you guys agree with the cash thing. Like, I looked up to see if it looked like anybody just dropped it, but that's the most I'm gonna do.
Right.
Like. So.
Yep, exactly. That's it right there. You look around. You're like, nope. You step on it. Make sure you still keep looking. Nobody's around. All right, I'll pick this motherfucker up.
Yeah. You definitely step on it. And wait and see. I guess you're waiting to see, like, if, like, you're like, hey, that's mine. You're like, oh, I know, I'm just getting it, And, like, once that doesn't happen, you're like, you still feel guilty, But, like, found money is your money. Like,
finders, keepers, losers, weepers,
Right. And you can be a dick about it. I just wouldn't. Like, you can literally be a dick about it. Like, if you watched it blow away from somebody and it got closer to you and you picked it up, you could literally be a dick and be like, it's mine now.
Right.
Like, the law is still in your favor. I wouldn't. I would be like, oh, dude, here you go, But yeah, like, I was like, because I told you, like, recently I got fired from a job where some girl kept $50 that somebody dropped. And then eventually, like, he came in and claimed it. I'm like, how the fuck does that happen? It's $50 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Like she can literally do whatever the fuck she wants. It's like money. Like, there's no ownership of fucking money,
Yeah,
like,
anybody could walk in and say, hey, I lost $50. Where is it at?
I'm gonna start doing that.
Right.
Just go, like, pick like a strip with a bunch of stores in there and just go in and out, like, hey, did anybody find money?
You never know. They'd be like, yeah, here.
Some guilty person's gonna be like, yeah, I was wondering if you'd come back. Like, fuck yeah. Like, is that a trick nobody's tried before?
I don't know. I've never tried it, but it sounds interesting. But it's like, if you lose your wallet or something, they can't be like, what does it look like? And you have your ID in it. But if you lose your phone, well, what does it look like? Oh, a black phone.
That would be the worst for me. Exactly. What a good thing to bring up. Like, what's in your wallet? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Well, that's just it.
Like, I see this part of it. That's all I see when I go, here's my plastic,
Yeah, you don't even open it all the way.
There might be a business card, like my friend's business, like my friend's retail business from like 2015 business card might be in there. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I got like my debit cards and like my arcade cards. We go to arcades in Sioux Falls and stuff, and you just pack up points. But other than that, we used to do a thing around here. We called it the Joker game. You always asked anybody if they wanted in, and if they said yeah, you basically got to carry around a Joker card with you all the time. And if someone shows their Joker card and they don't have it, they got to drop their pants.
Wow.
It's actually kind of funny if you get them in a busy place and they gotta just drop their pants right away. But you didn't tell them what the rules were until they were actually agreed to be in it. So, but
Why? Oh.
there was probably, I think it turned out to be half the people didn't even know who was in it anymore. But just stupid games we all played when we were younger. But
Yeah.
I don't even know if I still have it in there.
You'd have to be younger because you get arrested, you drop your pants in public now. You know?
Right?
At least as a kid, they're like, put that away. Nobody wants to see that.
Well, this is when we were somewhat adults. We were like 21,
Oh.
25 years old, most of us in bars and
Oh,
shit.
In that case, people wanted to see it.
Did you guys do any
Hold it.
like stupid games like that? Like with your friends or like stupid bets?
We had. I'm gonna give you guys all a pass, you guys and everybody watching at home. Like, but we did this thing, you know,
Yeah.
where you show the hole in the lower it is, like the harder the punch is if somebody looks at it.
Yeah.
That's about it. I don't even know if that. I don't even know. I'm sure it has a name. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. My nephews do it. It's still around actually. People still do it like crazy. You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
But
we did that one. Pen 15 was a big deal around here, where
Pen
you know
15.
you convince somebody to be in the Pen 15 club, and then you try to write it on their body to prove that they're in, and then when they look at it, it says penis. You know, so it's like, so like at a certain age where it would be embarrassing to have penis written on you.
Right.
Know? So that was it. That's what I remember. Pen
I never
15.
heard of that one.
No?
No, I never heard of that
Must be a
one.
regional thing, yeah. Hey, you guys can email us, backtalkus@gmail.com, if you heard of Pen 15, or if you play bingo, or if you
Or
if you
any
wanna
other
host
random
sexy bingo.
things. Or any of those
You want to
random
host sexy
games.
bingo for us here?
Yeah, sexy bingo. We should do that one night. Figure out what that's
I don't
like.
even know what it is.
Somebody could teach us. Tony would win.
Mm.
Tony would win. He wins at
Damn
bingo
right.
all the time.
Get that right.
So what else has been
Yeah.
going on, guys?
You guys want to talk about fucking?
Hang on. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I hate to
No,
interrupt
go ahead.
you.
Please,
Hey,
please. We love it. We love it.
I have to. So, I know it's been in anticipation, been building and building and building. I got my first victory yesterday.
Yes, I was gonna ask. Fuck
Yes. I am now a winner. I'm
Hell
not
yeah.
the loser.
yeah. On
I mean,
our
I still
league,
suck, but
Yeah, it was in our league.
did you win both?
Yeah, I won my other league too. So
Hell yeah.
2
Boy.
victories yesterday.
You're on a winning streak.
Yes.
I'm on a losing
I am
streak.
coming
You are on a
for
losing streak.
the title now.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
you're turning it around. Turning it around.
Who'd you beat?
Oh shit! Who did I beat?
Paul Vosberg, I think.
Okay.
Mean
I
Machine.
think he just.
Oh
beat
yeah,
me.
that was the dream matchup. We were talking about that last week. Who's going to win first, me or Paul?
Yeah.
So,
Well, Paul ended up winning last week, so he beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat me. Right.
yeah. So Paul got the win last week, and then I beat him this week. So
I need 10 points to beat Mouse.
Please God, give him 10 points. Wait, hold on a second. Do I have any 10? Do I have points around here?
Well, if I would have started a couple different people, I would already have it. But I went to worry about this. But
dude, like, all right, first year doing this kind of thing, or even watching sports this much since I was made to, or whatever. How bad are you guys winning or losing by? Because I lost by like less than 10 points. What are you guys?
Well, like last week, I can look at everybody's scores.
Like, I pretty much got smoked by House of Mouse, I want to say.
Last week I smoked Andy. I mean, if you're losing by 10 points, you're close. 10 to 15, I would say you're close.
Those have been my last two.
You're there. It's just their guys did that little bit better. I mean,
yeah.
You look at like this week, Tony beat Paul by 20.
yeah, 23. So yeah.
Yeah, my kicker that I got rid of, it turns out he had a good week.
Yep.
He kicked one of those long field goals. I didn't even know he was. I mean, I dropped him and forgot him, but
yeah,
fuck that guy. You want to come out and be a fucking superstar? Like, that's just me. That's just typical for me. And Jalen fucking sucked a bag. I don't know what he was doing with points this week. I mean, Eagles beat Dallas, but Dallas had not their quarterback. So, whatever. There's a big rivalry here. I'm sure you guys know between Eagles and Dallas.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
with with what you were saying with Hurts, I mean, Hurts really didn't have a bad game for you. I mean, he did get you 17 points. What hurt you
Ooh.
was JD, the Washington running back, Mystic.
Yeah.
He only got you 2, and then DK
Yeah, what the
Metcalf only
fuck?
got you 5. But
Well, two was a Thursday night game, so for 3 days I had 2 points on the board, and I'm like, woohoo! I'm really gonna win. Like that was like the beginning of like one player done playing, 2 points. Like I'm not winning.
that's the thing with fantasy football. You think you got the best lineup in. Like last week when I was playing Andy, his bench went off and his starting lineup sucked.
Can't
It
win.
happens to everybody. I mean, you don't know who's going to play good. I mean, you have your stars that. I mean, the only ones that I think that you could actually count on scoring, unless they throw a bunch of interceptions, would be quarterbacks. Everybody else
Yeah.
just like depends how the game goes, and like I got Jamar Chase in a lot of my leagues, and it's they had to throw late, otherwise if they're in the lead, they're just running, and you're just stalled out at points.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and I almost like looked into like I thought, I mean, it doesn't matter that our quarterback, I'm sorry, an R because the Eagles, like Jalen Hurts, doesn't matter if the other team's using their quarterback or not.
right,
I just wish that I had their defense yesterday,
right.
the Dallas, because they were doing pretty good, I think. But didn't know enough to get into like going into this game. Does it feel like there's going to be a reception game, or does it feel like it's going to be a running game?
Well, and you can't say that with any game, I mean, you got your people out there that are probably like, experts in this stuff, but,
Mm-hmm.
like the only way you can really look at, like when it gets later in the year, like you're playing in India and it's a blizzard, it's going to be more of a ground game, something like that, or draining, it's probably going to be more of a ground game. There's going to be a lot of turnovers. Do you want to play people there?
Yeah.
I mean, like Chicago, do you really want to play a kicker there? Because it's always windy.
See, I don't know stuff like that. I wouldn't even think about
No,
that.
it's
See, that's
just
stuff.
you learn that
Yeah.
as you play, or even watch the games. Like we actually, when I was a junior in high school, we got to play in a blizzard in a high school football game. They wanted to
Fun.
cancel the game and all that. We were already like almost there. It's like we're there if you guys want to play, because they were retiring. It was an NFL player that went in the NFL from their school. They were retiring his jersey and all that. And we're like, let's do this. We're playing. We're almost there. We got there. They're snow plowing the field off, and you get tackled. You slide another 20 yards. It felt like, it's like, oh, we're playing at Lambeau Field. This is amazing. I mean, but it made it
Probably a
fun.
great game.
Oh,
Great memory, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll never forget it. But like my secret for like drafting fantasy football teams is I always look for players that are on a contract year. Giving out my little secrets, just because those seems like the players that sign these multi-year deals, they just don't produce as much. But you get a contract year guy, they're gonna produce. So they want that new contract. They want to make it feel like, oh, he's worth it. That's just something I look at. My team
So-
doesn't show it, but
My other league that I'm in, so this guy that's number one in this league is a professional, I guess. I don't know how. He averages 200 points a week. Like right now, he's at
Jesus.
191. He's estimated to be at 217 at the end. I mean, he has his running back tonight. I mean, seriously, how do you draft these people 100 a week?
I'm guessing he's got Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Who's his quarterback?
He has Allen as his quarterback.
Okay, Allen. Okay, yeah.
So yeah, he has Allen. He has Stevenson as running back yesterday at 32 points. Tyreek Hill, 31. Jamar Chase, 41. Come on.
How's his bench for that week? Does it seem like he's making the right
Garoppolo's
decisions?
39. Hall for the Jets, 33. Montgomery, 15. And then
This
he
is
still
his
has,
bench?
yeah.
How many
This is
people were
bench.
drafted in that? Like 3?
No, there's only 10 of us. And I mean, he's like
10,
killing
yeah.
everybody. But yeah, it's craziness.
Well, and what it comes down to, it like in that league, you might be doing a different version of scoring than what we are in this one. I don't know how big difference the scorings are, but it all
Little
comes down
bit.
to how the draft works out, and if you draft that right person, those right people to fit that mold, and that's what they do, and you put them all in that week. That's the fun about fantasy football.
That, and you find idiots to make trades, because Jamar Chase I had in that league. And he wasn't doing nothing, and I needed somebody else. So I traded some guy that kept begging me for him. So I finally traded and said, here you go, take him.
What'd you get
I took
for him?
player. Oh, gosh, I can't even remember now. been a while. It was back when Chase wasn't doing shit, and now he's blowing up 41 points. So
that's the one thing is I don't try to trade. If I draft a team, I'm gonna stick with them. I'll make or break my season.
I know. I've already looked at your lineup. I was thinking about it. So
I do a keeper league. We keep our teams. I make trades there because we trade for draft picks and stuff. Like if I want to dump my team or if I want to rebuild, it's like owning your own team. So you have the same players all the time. But me and my brother usually make trades together just to help each other out because that's what everybody else does. They help out their families. They don't help out everybody else. They want a first round draft pick for Joe Schmo that plays for the Eagles. I mean, just saying the Eagles, it can be any team, Well, I don't want that guy. He's like the 5th string wideout. Why would I give you my first round draft pick for him?
exactly.
But no, fantasy football has been fun. I've enjoyed it many, many years, but I'm glad we're doing this one. It gets Justin, like he said, more interested in sports.
Yeah,
I shouldn't
have watched. I shouldn't have watched the Eagles game yesterday. I feel like I gave them bad luck because.
And you're not the only fan. They won the game, so you didn't really give them bad luck.
I know, but fuck that. You didn't win. The quarterback didn't win. Fuck that shit. He didn't give me the points. He came up underneath. What's that?
Yesterday, all quarterbacks sucked yesterday. And I wanted to bring up another point. So, Janelle has her starting quarterback that I got made fun of when we did the draft because I picked him over Brady, and I get shit for it. And I let him go, and then Janelle picks him up. Freaking Trevor Lawrence. And look what he does. He goes off for almost 25 points yesterday against Indy.
Well, I would have, if he wasn't there, I was going to pick him up because every time Jacksonville plays Indy, Jacksonville always, should win, but they didn't win this one, I guess. But
no, the streak continued yesterday. The home team wins between those two. I think it's like the last 10. That's the way it's been. So
wasn't it Jacksonville
Andy win yesterday?
Andy's playing Janelle, and Janelle kicker can't miss a field goal.
Oh, okay.
Janelle's beating Andy 125 to 124.5.
Oh my god.
But we looked it up before we went live. So we didn't know if kickers lost points, but if you miss a field goal, you lose a point.
Oh,
so if he attempts one field goal and misses it, Andy would win by a half a point.
I hate these fucking points, man. It's like bowling. I'll sooner figure out bowling score than I will fucking this shit. How do you guys know how the quarterback scores? Like, because I was like something point something. I'm like, how the hell's that happen? Like, is it yardage or something?
So in our league, passing yards, you get .04 per passing yard.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, that makes sense.
You get 4 for TD or TD pass, and then you get -2 for interceptions, and 2 points for 2-point conversion.
That's why I was losing some points because he threw an interception. Yeah.
.04. I don't understand .04.
You're getting .04 points per yard they throw.
I know, but why can't you get .05? Why can't you get for a yard?
That's something we got to bring up to our lovely commish when we talk to him next.
Points that I understand. Not that I'm stupid, but I'm dumb with sports and statistics.
Which I believe. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't understand the bat in 1,000 thing, why it's a point number and then 1 is 1,000, 1 point whatever is I don't understand any of that. Why? I don't know. Can you explain it to me?
It's just the percentage. It's 1.000% when they bat 1,000.
Right, but 1 is 1,000.
They just say 1,000. You're batting 1,000 because it says 1,000 if you take the point out. Or
I guess it kind of develops from.
So it starts at 1,000.
Yeah.
And then basically, if you get a hit 1 for 1, you're at 1,000. So then, if you don't, the next time you're at 500. So that's why it's 1,000.
Yeah, if you go 1 for 4, you're 250. It's not .250. They put the point in there just to have it there, I think. I don't think it really needs to be there.
Yeah.
Well, it's just weird that they haven't adopted one or the other. It should look like 1,000 if they're saying it, or they should say points if it looks like it.
But you get some
guess.
broadcasters, they actually say he's batting .394 right now. You get some, but you get some. Most of them say they're batting 250 right now.
Well, that's, I guess because it sounds cool. Like, I noticed that about sports too. Like, everything's like got to be cool and tough. Like the W instead of win, which takes you 3 times as long to say. It clearly sounds better.
Oh, we got the dub.
Or yeah, they shorten it to the dub, which you didn't
Yeah.
even have to begin to do. Clearly, you think dub sounds cool, because you could just say win and spend as much time and never have said W. Like, that's just silly. I always thought it was weird that W has so many fucking syllables. And they have upsilon in German. When I took German, upsilon is the letter Y. So you're saying all these like single syllable letters, just like in ours, and then you get to Y and it's upsilon. What the fuck happened there? Like W, like when you get to W, you're like A, B, C, all these things, S, whatever, and then W. What the fuck was that about? And if you think about it, you can't make the ABC song without it.
No.
Like if dub, like let's say if you change W to dub in that song, you'd be all lost.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess the
But
one
yeah,
game I got entertained by yesterday was the Jets beating the Packers in Lambeau. That was pretty cool. Did you see the end of that game, Tony or Justin?
No.
After the game, one of the Jets players was walking around the field with a cheese head on.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Sauce.
Yeah,
Gardner's
sauce.
Yeah.
It's a lot of balls to walk out in that field with a cheese head on.
You got that right.
I've been to that field once or twice, and those fans can be pretty mean.
Which field's that?
Lambeau Field, where Green Bay plays. Beautiful field. The culture, all right, it's legendary. I mean, just being there is enough to pay the admission, but being a title
nice.
town, but
Yeah, we don't have any legendary fields in Philly. Everything's pretty much brand fucking new. So there's no like legacy there that I could think of, unless like people like really love however long the things that are there now have been. Which
it's
I don't
same
think.
same thing here in Minnesota. We really don't have that old field anymore. I mean, we had the Metrodome for how long, but we all know what that was like. But now the Vikings have their own stadium. The Twins have theirs. I mean, the Twins is older now. I mean, the Gophers play at their stadium. They're all newer. They're all built lately.
Yeah. We definitely are not like when you go to like England or somewhere and you see these old castles. Like we definitely just have new shit. And just like I went to someplace it's the oldest place in Pennsylvania, which is I think in the country. It's like, and it's only like 200 years old. Whereas like stuff in England and Scotland is like thousands.
Yeah.
And they're still like it was relatively new.
It's still standing perfectly fine.
Yep. You guys ever been to a castle? You guys ever been abroad? No.
No.
Most I've been out of the country is I went fishing in Canada on the lake, but that was about it. Never made it on land in Canada.
Did you ever go frozen lake fishing?
Ice fishing, yeah.
Yeah, that's a much easier way.
Well, I live in Minnesota. Fishing. That's just something to do in the winter.
Like where you go and like they have like a little house that sits on it, and then you sit in it and you fish through a hole. You've done that?
Oh, we have our own houses.
Wow.
That was my next question. Do you have
I do not have one. My friends do, but most of the houses I've been in are probably worth more than the people's houses they live in. Period. Because most of them live in them all winter. And they do. They come home from work and they just go out to the lake house or the fish house and fish.
What kind of fish you catch, and do you eat it? Or do you throw
walleye, everything. Down the part of Minnesota I am in, walleyes are big fish. But you get up north, you can catch bass and stuff like that. But walleye is the big fish here in Minnesota.
And you eat it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'd be able to catch something I didn't eat. I'd feel bad. I used to love crabbing. That's a fun little game. Getting them to come up ever so slightly and then like getting the scoop.
Right.
You guys ever do that? That was great.
Well, if she shaves it, then you don't have to worry about crabs.
Tony, I saw you cooking that up for something. I saw you being all quiet, and you're like,
I'm good. I'm glad you seen it.
Everybody's quiet for a while, and then Tony comes out with a crab joke.
It's kind of probably hard to see, but that was the fish I caught on our vacation.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Good old northern off the dock.
That's bigger than me.
It was a good fish. Brand
Yeah,
new
my whole
pole,
Tony
first
episode.
cast. I was like, please
Wow.
line, hold on. I don't know how much pound testing line's on. Like at our fish houses, we don't even use poles anymore. Most of them. We use rattle reels, just put them down and play cards, watch movies, drink beer, whatever we want to do. And you start hearing the rattle, you go find out which one's going down and pull it up by hand. We do it while they're down while we're sleeping. You woke up to no line on your rattle reel anymore, but if you don't wake up to it, or you're pulling it
Like,
back in and he's like 90 feet away, But no, we love ice fishing here. I mean, that's just what we do in the winter.
yeah, I was always intrigued by that. You probably don't get cold like us wussies up here do
Well,
as
we're
fast.
we're in a house that's heated probably better than half the houses that are around us too. I mean,
But I mean, like your threshold for cold has got to be like,
well, Tony and
what are
I
we
were
talking
just
about?
we were just talking about it right before we went on here that it's like 20, the lowest 20 by where Tony is right now, right? Isn't that what you were telling me?
Yeah, it'll be like in the 20s tonight. So
That's where we're at too right now, but it's like, right now it feels so cold, but like up here in the spring, that feels amazing. We're in shorts having a heyday, but you just got to get used to it. I mean, you get in the middle of winter and we'll hit a polar vortex of negative 80 wind chill and that gets
Oh
cold.
my God, you can't even go outside, can you?
Oh, we do, but you're not supposed to. Like when you
I think
guys get snow, they're like, "Oh, stay home, you'll be fine." We get a foot of snow. It's like, "Are you making it into work?"
yeah, I'm here. Why aren't you here?
yeah.
Yep.
Would you just move from Jersey?
I
Yeah,
mean,
it changed a lot. Like the kids stay home more now than they did when I was in school. So that like wuss meter like somehow dropped since I've been in school. Like you figure it'd get better and better with like
yeah.
age and technology, but now it's like the kids are home if like the wind's blowing. And like back then we used to like wake up. Only time I got up early for school, early enough to not miss the bus most of the time, was to hear if our school got called.
But you're sitting there listening to the radio or something like that or whatever,
Yeah.
waiting to hear your school call, like, hey, it's 2 hours late, yeah, and then you're waiting to see if it's closed. Now it's like the night before, before the storm even hits, oh, school's called off for tomorrow. What?
Yeah. Hell
Wake
yeah.
up in the morning, nothing's going on. But nowadays, like us around here, like our school, they do distance learning those days. They're not even snow days anymore. They're still in school.
Yep.
Yeah. Distance
So
learning because of COVID has, become a thing. So now there's no such thing as a snow day.
no, they get one
Yeah.
snow day, I think. That the first snow day is actually a day off, but then the rest of them they're distance learning, which is
Yeah, they
nice, I
used
guess, in a way because then they don't have to go like I think it was 93 or 92, whatever year it was really bad here in the winter. We went weeks without power and stuff, no school, but we had to go like into June, like middle of June before we
ah.
got out. And it's like, well, that sucks, but that's
Yeah,
why
that
they're
making
looking
up
at it.
bullshit.
Like us, like I would like that distance learning in a way for that reason, but the kids nowadays they're like, well, I don't want to learn at school. It's like, well, do you want to go to school till the middle of June? No.
Mhm.
So there's a win loss there.
I do think you have to go to school to go to school. I
Yeah.
think because I've seen nieces and nephews kind of go through that when it happened, and I don't see the dedication, I guess, that would normally be there if you were kind of stuck at a place for 8 hours.
Right.
I don't even know how people can turn off the world at this point because we just didn't have the technology that people have now. So you
Well,
can't get you can't get kids to put the shit down.
that's the truth though. I
Yeah.
mean, but I mean, it's not just kids. I mean, we're kind of like it too in a way. I mean, adults are just as bad, not as many of them, but most kids are like, I gotta have my phone in front of me, you know. But I
Yeah,
mean,
like what
look at
what
us right
what
now. We're
did
all on a computer right now.
Yeah, but I mean we're like talking and
Yeah.
like occasionally like somebody's like looking up something for like what we're talking about, but imagine like not having that and just like
Yep.
three of us kind of not knowing for the next like 14 days,
Yep.
until like somebody told us the information. Like that's yeah, when you went away on vacation, like you were in Disney World for a week and everybody that existed up until that point was like who the fuck knows what they're doing?
Yep.
Yep.
Like
Until you came
occasional
home and you developed the pictures. That's the only time somebody would know.
Yep.
right, right. And like occasionally like your dad would like go to a payphone and call like for like an important business thing that one time and pretty much got yelled at. Like, oh, we're on vacation. What are you calling about? Now it's just like non-existent.
Yep.
Because of the phones. And I've been trying to like crack down on my phone. Like I'm not here in a capacity for people that aren't here. Like, why are we so used to that?
Well, it's like back when we were kids, we had to get on our bikes and go find our friends, not, hey, where are you?
You gotta look the house that has all the bikes in the front yard.
Yep.
Oh, they're at Kevin's today.
Yep. I mean, that's just the whole thing. I mean, I don't know, Tony. I guess how'd you hook up with your friends back in the day? I mean, we're all around the same age, so I think we all did the same exact thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what we did back in those days too. Or I mean, we're back at our days, since we're not super old, we did, we would call somebody and be like, hey, where's everybody at, or something like that. But if not, if you can't get a hold of anybody, you rode around, try to find them.
Well, it's like all the privacy that kids have nowadays now too with their cell phones. I don't know. I'm guessing you guys had the same landline, the cord phones and stuff like that, but you had multiple of them in the house, and you're sitting there talking to a girlfriend or what our friend, and then here comes your older brother picking up the phone, making funny on the other end, whatever. The good old landlines. You only had a cord that could go so far. Now they can run across town and be like, I'm on my phone, bye.
Exactly.
You used to like wrap yourself in the cord while you talked.
Yeah,
until you're like in a corner with the coiled in it. Yeah.
So since we're talking about that, let me ask: home phone numbers. Does anybody still have their original home phone number?
I don't have a home phone.
Well, I mean, like
Don't
your
have
parents.
Nope, my mom and dad dropped theirs. We had ours for years, but nope. But I still remember it.
I remember mine. Don't have it. Don't have the landline.
My parents still do. Yes. Still the same number.
Cool.
It's cool.
My parents would if they still had it, but
40 years later, my dad has a flip cell phone. He won't get rid of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a stalwart people. I'm kind of becoming stalwart where like there's a certain level of technology that I'm like okay with, and then past a certain point is like when I'm like, fuck that shit. We don't need that. Like we were complaining about Twitter earlier because they put that video together for the gobbledygooker. And, like, we should post it on Twitter, get it out there more. And it's like 140 seconds or less. It's like, bitch, like, our fucking, these things are like 2 hours plus. Like, I got it down to 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck? Like, like,
right.
Come on.
Well, no, and that's the thing, too. I mean, you look at TikToks, what are they, 30-second clips? Something like that.
Well, we know the attention span is that short. I mean, you don't need TikTok and Twitter's parameters to prove that at this point. That's my argument. It's like these fucking nitwits are just like, huh? Like, I just said that 30 seconds ago,
Yeah.
Oh, like, okay. And, like, they're not on pot like me. They don't have the excuse. It's like, maybe they need to, I don't know, like, or stop doing whatever. Like, what's the fucking chic drug now that everybody's doing? Like, pot was cool until your mom, like, started going to fucking Curaleaf and getting her prescription.
Yep.
Now what's cool? I don't know. But, like, these kids are on it, and they're stupid.
There's been so many things out there that, trends or whatever. I mean, I remember reading stuff about bed bugs. Like, they would, like, smoke bed bugs or snort them or whatever. I guess if you put lip balm, a certain version of lip balm on your eyelids, it makes you feel high or drunk. I don't fucking know. There's so many things.
What the hell are they doing in fucking Minnesota? Shit.
No, this is like, I found this on my phone.
Oh, Tide Pods. It's like right up
Tide
there with
Pods.
that.
Hey, there's cotton candy on my wall. Does you want some?
It's like, dude, I have an old baggie of pot. I'm probably not going to smoke. Can I just give that to you?
Yeah.
Here's a little fucking chillum. Like just what the fuck is wrong with people? I used to say like, I said it one time and somebody always reminded me how funny it was apparently. But they were like, one time you were like, why do you have to do all this shit? You ever like happen to be on a fucking elevator after you smoke pot? And I'm like, yeah, that was a funny thing for me to say because I remember being on an elevator when I got high in a hotel room and I was like, the fuck's going on? Like for a second, you're like, wait, like I'm used to being high and I'm used to being on elevators, but for some reason this experience is like insane. So before you want to do all that crazy shit, kids, get high, get on an elevator. That's pretty much all you need. I don't know why you would need more than that. I don't know if you guys do edibles, if you do pot, but that was never my thing either.
You talking like brownies?
Yeah, like anything that you eat that's pot. I always wanted to like smoke it because I don't like what it does if it's, eaten. Like I always get too fucked up.
Right.
I wouldn't recommend that. I have like people I know that like they're like lifelong alcoholics, and then like the one story they have about marijuana is how they got sick with it because they were doing it with alcohol.
Yeah.
But like they're telling the story, like yeah, like it made me fucking sick. I can't stand it. I was drinking like I did 10 shots of whatever, and I'm like okay, you know.
I don't think it was the pot that made you sick.
Well, and at the same time, like I can meet you halfway. I can be like, yeah, like it kind of like coalesced with too much drinking and kind of made it weird and turned your stomach a different way. I can understand that, but it didn't help that your experience involves like drinking that much liquor as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
that might be true. That might have been why I always got sick after I did. Because, back in those days, we were living in the bachelor pad, and, we would have 40 ounces King
40.
Cobra of malt liquor.
that is
So,
a ton of alcohol at once. Yeah.
yeah, you opened up our fridge. It looked like the Dr. Dre video, just fucking 40 ounces down. So.
I remember 40 ounces. Yeah, so for the few times you remember smoking pot and you got sick, you were also drinking heavily.
That might have been. I don't know.
It's a perfect storm. I can't blame either one of them because you know how used to being drunk you are. You know you didn't get sick from the drinking.
That's probably
You know.
true.
But you got sick from both. Like that is known to happen. But they throw out the baby with the bathwater on that. So like, so fuck pot. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, fuck both of them. Like, like try doing them separately and see if you throw up. Then if you do, then yeah, that's some fucked up shit. I can smoke so much I get panic attacks. That's like what sucks now in my old age. It's like I get too paranoid where like I'm like,
Well,
that happens.
back in the day when I smoked pot and marijuana, whatever you want to call it, I mean, I think like we had like the most intellectual conversations back then, though. We don't remember half the crap we said, but I'm pretty sure we came up with some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, the old coke head in the bathroom kind of thing. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, man, we have the best ideas, and then the next day you're like, what the fuck are we talking about?
What the hell were we talking about last night?
We were so into our shit, you know.
Oh, fuck.
But
You wake up the next day, you got a fucking piece of paper laying on the ground. What the hell is this shit? Who fucking wrote this?
yep.
And then underneath it,
for some new fucking weed.
underneath it, it's like underlined 3 times. It's like the best shit I ever came up with. And then you're like reading it, and you're like, the fuck no, this is stupid.
This sounded cool last night. What the hell happened?
Oh shit, Tony's on the move.
Tony's in the hood. Go out and check out Skelly.
No, it's windy.
Has he fallen yet this year?
No,
This time?
luckily not. He is not falling.
I guess do they have strings like a tent, or did you stake them down like by itself?
It came with little cheap stakes, and I had to buy extra stakes. So,
Right.
hang on, let me turn around. Fucker, turn.
Maybe I can't turn while it's in progress.
I can't. That is weird.
Yeah, certain things like
Technology
have, an
is
iPad?
amazing.
do you have an iPad or a phone?
I'm on the phone when I come outside, so.
Jesus.
But
Oh my
see,
God.
here's the cable, and it runs up
Yeah.
this screen, so. But yeah, but see, we added this little guy to him.
Is that Andy?
Might as well be. Look
That's
at
where
it.
he is.
That's
Hey,
where Andy
Andy.
is. Hi, Andy.
Yeah. Did you put sunglasses on him? Looks bright out there.
It looks bright out there.
All right, so that reminds me, Andy gave us something to talk about in his stead, in case he wasn't here. Kind of confused by it, the UFC stuff. Apparently, Tony, do you know more about that than I do? Or
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really watch the UFC, but what he was talking about, since we talked about last week of conspiracy theories, I really think he's starting to go down this rabbit hole. He's starting to be one of those conspiracy theorists. I mean, next week we might see him with the tinfoil on his head, so the aliens don't get him. How bad I think he's getting.
That's probably where he's at today. He's probably so far down the rabbit hole he can't find his way out. He ate what was it, a brownie or whatever she ate to be small or whatever, get big, whatever it was. I can't remember everything with Alice went to that.
I think it was a brownie or like a little cupcake or something.
I can't remember if that was to get big or get small. That she ate had to eat something to get small to get out the door, and
You had to drink something to go the opposite
yeah.
way. Yeah.
Those are some interesting people, though. Not to say that Andy is one, but like when you're talking to somebody that's like so far gone, not in like a bad way. Like I just don't have the time to wholeheartedly agree with like everything that's in the jar. But like the people like that like go into the conspiracy like let's go with like something that everybody can accept, like the JFK thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're not going to talk enough to figure it out. So like there's like an element of it where it's just like okay, okay, like, and like they want you to care as much as they do, because they've been in it, and you're just like yeah, it sucks,
Yeah.
poor Jackie O, or like whatever.
Well,
Or,
I know when I was in high school, I had to write like 3 different papers on it. 3
Yeah.
different classes and all that. It's like, oh, can I just use my paper I used last year? But I dove so far into it that I felt like what you're talking about. It's like I come home and that's all I want to talk about because I got so
yeah.
caught up into it. You start looking at everything that was going on and all that, and everybody else's conspiracy theories, and you kind of make your own. And I can understand why people get sick of it, but because I've been that with anybody else that's talked about something else. But wasn't another thing that Andy brought up that UFC possibly buying WWE, Tony?
That's what he sent out, and that's what he wanted us to talk about. So there is, I guess, a rumor going around of UFC possibly buying WWE. So that's just leading back to what he was talking about last week. Is UFC basically is fake fighting, a lot of it now. So now he's just trying to prove his point that hey, they're trying to buy wrestling, which is 75% fake and 25% real, we'll say. But yeah, that's where he's starting to go. So he's just thinking that they're just trying to buy it since there is the crossover that we talked about with all the fighters going from UFC to wrestling and vice versa. So
Right.
I don't watch any of it, so like yeah, to get me to go into the rabbit hole is like cool. You're probably right. You're probably wrong. I don't know, but like it does kind of harken back to what he was saying. Like he made the connection of UFC to WWE, and now to see them courting each other, it's like it's almost like we put it in the ether, and people, and it's not the first time BACC Talk has done this. Like we put it out there in the ether, and then you see other people are like mentioning stuff regarding it. I would think for there to be interest in one and the other, I don't think one wants to buy the other and be totally different in what they do. So I think that there is an element of fakeness in UFC at this point. What do you
I just
guys
don't
think?
see them buying WWE and going into that kind of business.
Like same.
Wrestling's a entertainment business. It's a male soap opera, as some of us say. UFC is nothing like that. So
right,
they don't have storylines. They just hey, let's do the weigh-in, put our fist up against each other, and then they go fight. So
talk shit,
Yeah, McGregor does that all the time.
Yeah, McGregor.
All he loves to do.
That's kind of the part that turns me off about fighting. Like I know you're not going to get like headstrong people that fight like that. You're not going to get like just generally humble people, but like you're going to get the people that are like fired up. Like Mike Tyson was like the most famous. You could see tapes upon tapes of him just saying the worst shit, right? Yep. There was that one real famous one where he said, isn't he the one that said, "I'll eat your babies" or something? Isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Didn't he? Yep. Isn't he the one that coined that or something? Yeah, like shit like that just kind of turns me off because it's like you don't want to lose after all that, first of all.
Yeah. And have you noticed that, like going back to the Paul boys, they fight Floyd and Mayweather. Really? Fight Tyson. See what happens.
Yeah.
Right. See, like those matches I think are rigged gimmick matches, like with UFC boxing. I think those are rigged, but are faked, I guess is what we should say. But, I think most of the fights are actual fights, but
I mean, unless Logan Paul did like meth like right before he fought like a legend, like I don't think, or like what are they what like PCP or something you hear, like it took 10 cops to hold down this guy on PCP, whatever that drug is. Like unless he did that, which I don't put it past him because he's a scumbag, Unless he did that and just was like full of piss and vinegar, like I don't see him placing in a fight at all against Mayweather. Like,
No.
No.
like you said, he should fight Tyson and see. Like I would say it's like 6.5 one and like whatever the saying is of the other. Like I would think that Floyd Mayweather is still like somebody to be reckoned with, you know, if he's not Tyson. So how the fuck did this pipsqueak ass dude go the distance with this guy?
Yeah.
So back to Andy, what Andy was saying, it's like that's some fucking bullshit. That's some stunt casting, like bullshit. And I don't know anything, so
But
he
like
could be a really good fighter.
with Mayweather, that was more boxing than UFC, though. You
Yeah,
know,
but still, how did the guy go rounds with that guy? Like this, you know, he's like a YouTuber. Like,
yeah.
fucking like
That's what I mean. I think like those matches, they're gimmick matches to bring in the money. You know, those probably are like, hey, don't hit the face, whatever, and there's a
Mhm.
planned ending, but they want to keep people intrigued because they want people to buy that pay-per-view to watch it. They want the money, you know. I mean, would half the fights that Mayweather was in, would he have taken them if it wasn't that he got this much of a share if he won?
Yeah, you said he was the money guy, right?
Floyd Money Mayweather is his name.
Yeah,
But
so he'll do anything
didn't
for.
Mayweather fight Connor?
McGregor, yeah. In a
Yeah, that's the
boxing
one
ring.
I remember.
Yeah, McGregor really didn't go that far with
No.
Mayweather.
Yeah, that wasn't like to the distance, if I remember right. Well, I guess they didn't fight that many rounds, though, if I remember right. But what would it be different if they put Floyd into the cage in the octagon? You know, I mean, that's where, like, when they start crossing over boxing and UFC, it's like, to me, you're putting the UFC guy in handcuffs. They're used to using their feet and everything, taking some people down. Now you're just standing there boxing. Not saying McGregor can't box, because he can, but that's how I look at that. Like, when you start crossing over boxing and UFC UFC is a whole different animal. That's why they made it. That's why it became so big, is because that's when everybody got like, oh, this is way better than boxing. This is going to kill boxing. And really it hasn't. Boxing's still out there, but it's not as big as what it used to be, like when Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm missing a lot of big names there, but remember, nobody can ever forget when Mike Tyson bit off Evander Holyfield's ear.
Yo.
No one ever forgets that. I mean,
Or how about when he knocked out his wife?
right.
Like Mike Tyson, if you notice, Mike Tyson has Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. I don't know if you ever watched it. It's like
Mm-mm.
it's a podcast. They're all called podcasts. I mean, it's like on YouTube. It's a YouTube channel. I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck the pod is at this point. Like we're not in pods. We call this a podcast. Like, what is a podcast? Like, what's the infancy of podcast, and what does it become? I don't know. But anyway, Mike Tyson has a podcast. Somebody else hosts it. I think he's an ex-football player, and yeah, he's got this like resurgence now, and like we're all just like supposed to forget that like he's like a piece of shit, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like no, like you're fucking like he's all like he has like it looks like he has his own like weed business too. So I guess he mellowed out, but you know he was a pretty rotten individual for a while. But I don't know. Gonna get canceled now, or Mike Tyson's gonna come to my house and punch me in the face. I don't, you know.
Hey, if you
That's
could
a fun-
if you could take a punch from Mike Tyson
No.
live
I don't
on the podcast, oh boy.
I'd rather eat 20 beans. I think he would brain damage me. I just don't. I don't think that you.
I would
you need
never
to
want to
be
take a punch from him. No.
You need to be like a person that could take punches, you know, in order to take. He would just obliterate me. Like that would just be like. I don't know. What do you tense up? Like what's better to do if you're gonna like get hit by a fucking Mack truck? Like tense up or whatever.
Well, maybe we'll find out. Maybe he'll offer to come on here and punch you in the face. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do an impression of him because that's low. I don't like that everybody wants to make fun of somebody that can't talk. But
Yeah, but he can knock you the fuck out.
right. But I still wouldn't make fun of him.
No.
I mean, he can make fun of the way I talk because I have no like comeuppance. I'm like, you better stop making fun of me, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen something on Facebook today. It had there was like some girl standing in front of a sphinx out in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's like, "This is like the greatest thing in the world," and then there was like a little line underneath it that said, "The greatest thing in the world is I would like to see Mike Tyson pronounce sphinx."
Sphinx.
Sphinx.
Yeah, and Mike Tyson.
Well, didn't he fight somebody named Sphinx? Wasn't there a fighter named going back to like great fighters, or is that Sphinx? What? There's somebody. I think I'm getting pretty damn close to like a naughty word for. I said Sphinx. I didn't say what you think I said. Sphinx. Somebody Sphinx. There's a fucking boxer named Sphinx, right?
My name's Mike Tyson. And that Sphinx.
He's gonna go for it.
Damn it, he's gonna come get me now.
Tony's
Yeah,
eating the punch now. Tony's eating it.
Sorry, Mike.
Well, there was a I can't remember who said it, but there was a what do they call those things? The roast, and I think
roast.
they were. I don't know if they were roasting Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson was there on the dais, and everybody was taking shots at everybody, including Mike Tyson. And then finally, like somebody got up there, I can't remember who, and it's like I don't appreciate how many nerdy whatever, I think he said nerdy white guys are up here trying to make fun of Mike Tyson, like he ain't gonna get up and punch you or something. You know, this is the last time I think all these types of people feel comfortable making fun of Mike Tyson to his face or something.
Right.
Was like the whole point. And I was like thinking that the whole time. It's like I always thought like you know, you can get canceled for this or that, but like I'm just concerned about talking about somebody that can actually like come beat me up. Like that's what I consider canceled. Like I'm not gonna talk too much shit on somebody. It's like, yo, what the fuck, man? Like, you know.
Yeah.
Other than that, like,
Here comes
no
your hate
offense,
maker.
somebody in some other state like that doesn't know me is gonna be like, I don't like what he said. Like I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about like saying the wrong thing in front of somebody and then having them beat me up because
Right.
I don't feel like being in a hospital or going to court. You know, like I just don't.
You got to be worried now. You're going to be sitting there doing a gig, and you're going to look up in the back of the room, and you're going to see Tyson standing there waiting on you to get finished up with your set.
Oh man.
We better have a
Yeah.
camera there ready to go.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was not nice to one of his wives or ex-girlfriends. I don't know what. That's just
Yeah, can't remember the name.
That's not alleged. That's convicted. So just, you know, I don't know if he wants to sweep that under the rug or if he even feels like he could, but it's something that happened. You can look it up. I don't know, while he's having this like renaissance of everybody thinking he's cool because he's got a gray beard now and seems like he's like not the crazy one that was eating babies.
He's Don King now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, football players do that a lot too. I did mention that. I wasn't shy about that recently on a podcast. I said like these football players that die with CTE in their brain. It's like, you know, you take punches like that to your face and or your head. Like, what else are you gonna get but brain damage?
Right.
And, like, how else does brain damage? Like, how many different ways does brain damage like express itself to the world? Like, you might hit that fucking like you've heard like that story where the guy like got something like he got like a nail or something. He was working construction, he got a nail and they couldn't remove it, but like it changed his disposition forever. He was like a sack of shit.
Yep.
You know, like you can get hit in that butt and you could just like go crazy and like punch like your wife, whereas like normal people would just have an argument and move on.
Yep.
So something to consider. Don't get punched in the head.
No,
You know,
it's dangerous when you start like when you're talking like boxing and stuff with that, and even NFL. You know, everybody looks at these players when they flip out with all these concussions they have, and that's why they have this concussion protocol now. But you're never going to go away from it. I mean, WWE is the same way, Tony. I mean, wasn't that Benoit's thing?
Yep, that was Benoit's thing.
Oh my God, yeah. I was going to ask you about him because he's like, there's like a whole thing on YouTube about him, Chris Benoit, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I guess you guys want to tell me what happened, what specifically happened? I could always watch that later, but I remember the name. I don't know what he
I mean,
did.
long story short, didn't he just kill his family and kill himself in the process?
Yep.
I mean, long story short, I mean, there's a whole thing to it. I mean, to watch, if you want, it's worth a watch. I mean, what people talk about, but I mean, they won't even bring him up in WWE anymore.
Was he a CTE guy?
Yep.
Mm.
He's had all of his injuries and stuff with that, you know, but back then, you know, he was the high flyer, high chance guy. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, but I mean, he did a lot of crap that was dangerous.
Yeah, he would jump off the top rope and basically land with his head, you know, on your chest because that's one of his moves was.
I mean, now
Yeah.
that stuff you're not going to see anymore. I mean, look at how many times. I mean, they can't even do the pile driver anymore. The only one that could do a version of the pile driver was Undertaker and Kane
Yep.
for years, and now they're both done, and you'll never see a pile driver ever again.
Oh,
Because
not true. Not true. You will see it at Crown Jewel.
What's a pile driver again?
Isn't DX fighting the Brothers of Destruction at Crown Jewel?
that was a couple years ago.
No, I thought they said that on the reunion. That's what they were talking about doing again.
Oh, maybe. I guess I didn't catch that
I
part
don't
of
know.
it.
I might have seen, like you said, the back. Cause I know it was the
Maybe
reunion.
you're going down the rabbit hole.
Oh gosh, I mean, you can go back and watch.
Maybe they are, but I don't think. I think that was a couple years ago. I know they did that, but
Well, maybe
I don't think we'll
look
ever
back.
see the Undertaker in the ring again.
And that's a shame.
The only way I see it ever happening is if somehow it's Sting versus the Undertaker, because that's one match they both want.
Oh my gosh.
It's one match the fans want. I guess I should say too. I mean,
Has
two
there been
That-
any? Has there been any more Bray Wyatt stuff?
Bray Wyatt came out at SmackDown crying and talking about how all the fans saved him and all that, and then, oh, Tony, did you see the name of the guy that they're saying that is him in the mask? I read something, I can't remember the name of it, but the mask guy came out and said stuff, and I basically left more Easter egg stuff out there, I think, but
No, I didn't get to see that part. I just seen Bray in the ring. So you mean it was Bray in the ring and then the mask came out?
then the
Or-
mask came out. Like he was on the Titantron
Okay.
talking.
So he was Titantron talking to Bray. Is that what?
He was talking
Okay.
to the fans, but I think it's kind of like the Fiend and Bray. They're leaving them separate people.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I didn't see that part. I just seen Bray talking. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it kind of felt a little bit genuine. Like it was a real person talking, not just the character. But
Yeah, I think that was him as a person.
so
Is that his real name?
I don't know what his actual real name is. It's Bray Wyatt's his character, because like his
Yeah.
brother in the ring is Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's really anything else coming out. I still think the Wyatt Six is the new faction. It's just how they do it.
It is, yes. Because WWE has now trademarked Uncle Harper.
That's the face. That's what they're calling the mask.
So that is now trademarked by WWE as Uncle Harper. So they're saying it's paying tribute to Brody Lee.
Yeah, Brody.
So-
With that too, they're saying, and I didn't really look into it, but didn't really look into it hard. But at Extreme Rules, when they showed Abby the Witch, she was wearing Luke Harper's skull from
seen that.
was it the Bludgeon Brothers? Wasn't that what that was?
Yes,
With
I believe
Harper
so.
and Rowan. There's so many. I mean, do I think the Easter egg is over with the White Rabbit? Yes, but there's going to be more going into this. It's going to be the slow reveal of the Wyatt Six, and there's things out there now that are people talking. Is Wyatt Six just 6 different characters for Bray, or is it actually a faction? And we're going to see the Wyatt Six versus the Bloodline at Survivor Series.
Yep.
War
Because he
Games.
is exclusively on SmackDown. So
Yeah.
that's what's.
But I mean, like Monday night last week, they did tease a little bit Bray Wyatt stuff with the symbol, and I think we got to read more into the symbol that they're showing. There's a lot of things with that I think that could tie in that we could find on. I just haven't really dug into the symbol, and I don't think really people have that they've been showing the upside down fly or whatever that is.
Yeah.
I mean, the other interesting thing is too, like wasn't it 2 weeks ago when this whole Easter egg thing was going on? Didn't JBL's car show up? And they're all thinking that's part of it.
I don't know. I didn't see that one.
It showed up with Baron Corbin in there, and now they're saying there's going to be something with that JBL is going to be more on TV. There's going to be more revealed on that today. But I think that was all just it. I think over the last month with all this Easter egg, the White Rabbit stuff, I think it was all just to get people thinking and talking and get people tuning in. And now it's going to be like the slow reveal on what this is actually going to be. You know, we were saying Friday night, I think we just saw the original, the actual Bray Wyatt, his person, and, you know, thanking everybody for bringing him back. You know, if it wasn't for the fans, would he be back? You know, everybody asking for Bray for how long, you know, ever since he got let go, and now he's back. And, you know, there's going to be a slow reveal, I think, on the Wyatt 6. I think it's going to be slowly get down, and it'll be over the next month and a half before Survivor Series.
Yep.
I mean,
And I still won't watch wrestling, but the the egg chase and all that stuff is pretty cool. I mean, that's
which,
got to be captivating to pretty much a lot of people.
you know, you let out your little video on that, Justin, on BACC Talk on Facebook about the White Rabbit stuff. And I think that, you know, we were on something when they were playing the song from Jefferson Airplane. They were doing that at house shows, so they didn't have to pay any of the money for it. You know, it's
Yeah.
not on TV. I don't think we'll ever, you know, Andy was saying that last week. Well, we didn't hear that song. And I'm like, I don't think we'll ever hear that song on live TV. It was just part of the Easter egg. It was just get people to talk. And, you know, I hope this is
Yeah.
something that they look at more, and it's, you know, for reveals. And, you know, even if people know what's coming, I mean, I was listening to the radio earlier today, and somebody was at the show in Philly, and their little brother was at the show in Philly when Bray Wyatt came out. But at the end of the show, they knew it was the end. The little brother was just in tears. It's like Bray Wyatt didn't come back, and then all of a sudden, everything happened. You know, you
Mm.
made everybody feel at the end of that show like, oh, it's not happening anymore, and then all of a sudden the lights go out. You know, like it was going off or off air, and then everything happened. I mean, I thought it was the best thing that WWE has done in years, in my
It,
opinion.
oh
Pro
shit!
wrestling, period.
Is that the thing where you were talking about before, where he's like, "Are we still on the air?" or something?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's when you
Yeah.
played when you were playing the song last week, the whole world in his hands and all that. You
Hmm.
know, they started playing that, and everybody just went nuts. And she said the arena, you could just feel the electricity as everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's actually happening." But, you know, everybody thought it was going to happen during a match, not. You know, when you're at an arena, I mean, Tony, you can, you know, say this. You know, they start putting up the set for like that door. She's like, all of a sudden they started bringing out the set for a door, and all of a sudden they started playing the song. So they knew something
Yep.
was going on. But, you know, like I've been at shows where you could tell when somebody's going to come out from underneath the ring. They have a guy, like 20 guys walk down, act like they do something around the ring, and then the guy sneaks underneath to, you know, surprise them underneath the ring. I mean, to me, I would rather watch a show on TV than actually go to a show live. I don't know if you feel that way, Tony, or not.
Yeah, I mean, for stuff like that, yeah, it's better to see it on TV than actually in person because then, just like you're saying, you know, you're standing there and you're seeing all this stuff happen, so you're kind of like, yeah, you know, this is what's going to happen here. So, I mean, the Bray thing, that would have been a little bit different, seeing the actual door, and you wouldn't, you know, think about what that could have been, but
Well, it's just when they hit that song, and she's the girl on the radio. There was somebody on Busted Open, but she's like, you could just feel like the energy just come up in the crowd, and everybody knew what it was, but how was this
yeah.
going to happen? And then she's like, when they started showing characters around the characters around the arena, you were looking around yourself. One going to pop up next to me. I mean, just
Yep.
think if you were sitting there and you got this white rabbit thing or rabbit thing that just pops up next to you, or one of these characters, and you know, it just been a surreal moment if you're actually sitting in that one lucky spot. But I think the Bray Wyatt stuff, they're doing great with it, and I can't really say what's going to happen in the end. You know, all those teasers could have been to get us going down the rabbit hole, and what if it is just him playing the Wyatt 6? I mean, we don't know.
Hey, the word bray, you know, like what that means, right? Like a donkey does it. Like it's like a calming noise that certain animals do. Did you ever hear that word bray?
Mm-mm.
Anyway, I'm just saying, like, I'm rolling the words around up. The white rabbit, like, first of all, Wyatt sounds like white, you know, and I'm not sure if rabbits bray, but I think I just realized I'm in a fucking
Now he's
rabbit
going
hole.
down the rabbit
Yeah.
hole.
I just realized I'm in a fucking rat. I'm sorry. No, that's stupid. That was
Well, but
conspiratorial for no reason.
those conspiracy theories are fun to talk about with stuff like this that's new. You know, like we were talking about the JFK
Oh,
stuff that's just old.
so much more fun than regular life.
Yeah, but that's always fun. I mean, that's what, I brought up when we were talking about it when we first started bringing up this White Rabbit stuff. That's how I felt. That's how I feel like when Treyarch comes out with zombies in Call of Duty. Every zombies map has that Easter egg. You want to be the first to find it. It's like you're going down that rabbit hole trying to figure this out, and it ends up being something you're not even thinking about. Like, oh, I had to do this, not that. And it's just fun. I mean, video games have put Easter eggs in all their, every company has put Easter eggs in their video games. Like Call of
Yeah.
Duty had one, and I think it was in Black Ops 3. If you look at the clocks, it was actually what time it was where you were at. But it's just little
cool.
Easter eggs out there, and there's Easter eggs in movies that make you look at other, like bring you back to this other movie. I mean, Justin, you know that.
Yeah, Marvel's big into that.
Right. I mean,
Disney did it with Pinocchio. I mean, not as subtle, but all the clocks that Geppetto made was like a reference to all of the Disney movies.
yep.
But yeah, I like stuff like that. I was gonna say, just to follow up with Bray, so that we don't leave this
Yeah.
podcast thinking we don't know the words. I was off. I said like a calming sound. Apparently, it's only done by a donkey or a mule. It's a loud, harsh cry. So, meh, or whatever that thing is that they do. What does a donkey do? Meh. That's a bray. That has a name, and it's Bray.
Sounds like a
So.
freaking goat.
Yeah, no, like what? First of all, donkey or mule? What's the difference? Like, are they the same thing? And what's an ass? Is that the same thing too?
That's a donkey.
An
I know
ass
that.
is a donkey. What kind of noise does a donkey make?
I've not tried to make it.
Hee-haw, hee-haw.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
them?
there you
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Going back to Pinocchio, that's what they become at the end of the movie when they do bad things.
Right.
Hee-haw. Okay, so that's called a bray. Does Bray Wyatt do that when he like wins? Does he stand over at the thing going, hee-haw?
Not that I know of, but this could be the new Bray. You just never know.
I type Bray and then hit videos, and guess what I get? Because I just wanted a video of a Bray happening. Guess what I get?
Bray Wyatt.
All Bray Wyatt stuff. Would I have gotten all Bray Wyatt stuff a month ago? Probably not. He looks like a fucking country, like a fat country music artist. He does not look like he could pick anybody up or do anything.
The thing is with Bray Wyatt, it's all about the creativity
Yeah.
with
He
him.
looks like he's about to sing Wagon Wheel.
I mean, when they first debuted as the Wyatt family, I mean, he comes down carrying this lantern. He's never gone away from that. But it's just, you just get that weird, and I don't want to say this because it's going to sound bad, but you get that Undertaker vibe, like something big can happen with him. And it's every time he comes back, it's bigger and better. And that eventually it's going to let fans down. Like, I think that's why this is going to be a slow play, because they're going to fill out the fans. I mean, with this mask, I mean, we only saw a little bit of the face. I mean, right, Tony? Really haven't seen this whole mask, but, it could be a demon. It could be anything. I mean, is this going after, everybody was like, oh, they're going after Judgment Day. Bray will be. Well, one's on Raw, one's on SmackDown. It's hard to do that. I don't know the angle they're going at with this, but I think they put it on Fox just because it's Fox, and that's where it needs to be. But I think he would have been better on Raw, but that's just me. But it's going to be interesting what happens. There's going to be teasers on both shows. It's just he's only going to be appearing on SmackDown, is what they're saying. But, could that be a part of the Easter egg down the rabbit hole? Could he show up tonight on Raw? We just don't know. That's what's nice about this new WWE with Triple H and Stephanie is, are we refreshed? And I think we are. I mean, look at, who else came back last week? Gallows and Anderson.
Yep.
The OC's back. I mean, that's just making all these new people that are coming back. It's just making it fresh again. We're not getting the same stuff rammed down our throats. And
Well, going back to Jim Cornette, since Andy's been mentioning him since episode 1. You guys keeping up with him? I haven't heard his name in a while. Is he like liking this shit, or is it too new for him to enjoy?
I heard
anything like
very
that?
little of what he said on it. I mean, I think he thought it was cool, but it's, it's not old school wrestling. It's not the gobbledygooker.
He liked the gobbledygook.
He probably did. I don't know.
It was probably his idea.
Yeah, it was probably his idea back then.
No, I just know Andy like had a thing for him, and obviously he didn't, you know, talk back to us or anything like that. So he's a wuss and all that shit. But I just wonder, like, cause Andy kind of, I know he likes the idea of things changing, and his
Yeah.
point against Cornette was the fact that, it's not like how it used to be. But you have to up the ante, like, like we're
Well,
talking about how everything's going forward now. Everything has to be bigger, better, stronger, faster.
well, yeah, I agree with that. Just
Yeah.
because, I mean, we're all used to the past and all that. But I feel
Hmm.
like our generation, like us three are at that age where we're like got the old, but we're getting forced with the new at the same time. I mean, if that makes any sense. I mean, but like we're in that transition period. I mean, look at the NFL, we're transitioning all these players. I mean, I think everybody goes through it, but I mean, like
We
NASCAR is kind
had
of the same thing. But we had in my eyes, we grew up better. I mean, we had our Tonka trucks, and we actually had to go outside and play, and not just sit inside and play on our
and
video games.
we couldn't keep our phones on the register
Right.
between customers. Like,
Well,
I remember having jobs where you got written up if they caught you with your phone
yep.
and all that stuff because it just wasn't important yet. And then everybody made it so important because they don't have personalities, so they need their phones.
It's their everyday life now. I mean, if they
Yeah.
didn't have their phone, it's like we were all together at my mom and dad's like the weird. I think it was Christmas, and like, well, hope we lose power. We were getting a snowstorm, and I'm like, you don't want to lose power. You're not gonna know what you're doing. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, how are you gonna charge your phone? Well, I'll plug it in. I'm like, we won't have power. And then they started thinking about it, like how much power. Like I've always been a fond believer. If anybody really wants to attack like this country, just take out our power source, and people will go crazy.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
everything we deal with is power. Especially like look at all the electric cars out there nowadays.
well, you can get well, the other superpower in China, you can get them too.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, any country that goes with power. I mean, everything has electricity to the point where you could crumble a country or a society by taking out their power source.
yeah. Well, I'd be okay. I'd be in a bunker somewhere going. Like, not with baked beans because I don't eat. Actually, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna eat if end times comes because it seems like they eat a bunch of food I don't like. Like, we still got baked beans. God damn it.
Exactly.
Like honestly,
Tony, we're gonna be fucked.
honestly,
Yes.
if they ever like if that something like that was ever gonna happen, I had to build a bunker. I think I would put a crap ton of ramen noodles in there.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could boil them, make a fire, and boil them. But
Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah, I mean, you can eat it like gazpacho style if you had to.
yeah,
Although I think with enough water, no matter how hot it was, they'd still like noodle. You
yeah,
know. I don't think you need. I don't know. Do you need hot wood for them? Hot wood.
hot
I got some
wood.
hot wood. I got some hot wood for you. Do you need hot water for it to noodle? Is that what? Or can you stir it enough in water and make them bend? I don't know how
I think it
ramen
has to
works.
boil to make them
Yeah.
soft. You would think it has to be
Yeah.
hot. Now you're talking about rubbing two sticks together and making a fire. Something we might
I'd
have to
rub.
try is put noodles in water and just stir it and see what happens.
Yeah, I
Get the
mean, after a
friction
while,
going.
like you go to work for 8 hours, like you come
Yeah.
back and you had that chunk of things in cold water. See if they fucking noodled or whatever you call
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Noodles.
I think they would over time because the water
Right.
would start to get in there and break everything up. So it just wouldn't be hot. But yeah, take a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what is it about hot water that washes the hands versus cold water? You know,
Hot
'cause
water kills the germs.
I guess, yeah.
Cold
It kind of
water
washes off the
probably.
germs.
Cold water actually probably makes more germs. I think is what they say. I don't know. Are you eating beans without us, Justin?
No, but I saw Tony. He's ready for some beans. What's he? I gotta eat two, don't I?
Oh, you
Because I
do.
ate three. I had five. So Tony, we could do them together if you want. But
That's only good.
one more
One.
thing I wanted to talk about was Saturday morning cartoons. How it's just not really a thing anymore, and it's certainly not a thing with kids because it would be on YouTube at this point.
'Cause you're talking about
Um,
waking up, watching like Roadrunner, Coyote, like Bugs Bunny and stuff. That's what you're talking about, the old Saturday mornings.
Yeah, I remember Darkwing Duck somewhere. That was
Yep.
a big thing for me.
Oh yeah.
Dark Tales or DuckTales.
DuckTales. Yeah. Um, and when you came home, did you guys watch the Mario Brothers cartoon? Where it was Captain. Going back to wrestling, Captain Lou Albano was Mario. They had like, are you familiar with this?
No.
They had like a live action lead in where it was, I can't remember who played Luigi, but Captain Lou was Mario, and he's like, "Hey Luigi," like most fucking Italian you've ever seen, and and then they did this thing, and it was kind of like a wraparound for the show. It was like you'd visit with them in the beginning, you'd visit with them at the end. It would be live action, but they would introduce the cartoon for that day, and it was a different adventure, and he voiced he voiced the cartoon of Mario, but he was
Oh, cool.
he was Mario live action in the beginning. And then on Fridays, I never watched Fridays because I was both never into playing the game, so I wasn't into watching it as a character, but Fridays was Legend of Zelda. So it was a Link cartoon or whatever. And I just never got into that role-playing stuff. I think the only role-playing video game I played was South Park, only because like I'm a fucking giant South Park fan.
You talking about South Park, the Stick of Broken Truth or whatever?
Yeah, Stick of Truth. They put another one out.
The butthole one.
Yeah, the fractured butt.
The fractured butthole. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually played them both. Both South Park games are fun.
I thought the first. Can't speak on the second one for no reason other than it just never got it. But first one was great. I mean, it's like playing a fucking South Park.
Well,
episode.
what was nice with the fractured butthole is they actually had it where it just sounds bad when you say it, but
I know that was the point, right?
they actually gave it in a bundle and they remastered the Stick of Truth, and that's the only reason I bought it because I wanted to play Stick of Truth again. But
yeah, you know how long it took me to figure out that the movie is also like bigger or longer uncut. Like that's like a dick joke. Like it took me way too long to figure that out.
Bigger, longer,
anyway.
uncut.
But I mean, I wanted to know what your cartoons were. Of course, we have to mention Smurfs for Tony. But I really can't remember watching more than I can't remember a fucking single Smurfs episode.
Neither can I.
I watched them when I was a kid, but I don't remember the episodes. I mean, that's when I was little. I mean, to be honest, I mean,
I remember Thundercats.
To me, Smurfs was more of a girl cartoon. I don't know, in a way. I don't know, because they looked like they were playing house all the time.
Like Care Bears.
Like Care Bears, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like I remember growing up watching like Doug and like Rugrats and crap a lot on Nickelodeon. I mean, if you go to Nickelodeon, I mean, they weren't Saturday morning cartoons, but those are the cartoons that, I could still watch nowadays. But
yeah, Ren and Stimpy, of course.
Ren and Stimpy, Cat Dog.
Cat Dog, yep, Cat Dog.
I mean, I don't know. A lot of people didn't get in the Wild Thornberries. I really didn't, but I know a lot of people did.
Oh, Tim Curry. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I didn't really get into that one, but... I mean...
Me neither.
But if you start looking at the old Saturday mornings, I mean, it was all just like, you're always wanting the Coyote to finally catch a Roadrunner. Like, everybody was finally cheering for him towards the end, but...
Yeah, like, fuck this Roadrunner, smug asshole. But do you remember Grape Ape and Captain Caveman? You guys remember that cartoon at all?
No, I don't remember that one.
How about the Mises cartoon?
The Mises?
I can't remember. They said Mises, but it wasn't called Mises. I can't remember what it was. But I just remember watching that Saturday mornings, like down the shore. I don't know. We had some good shit. Tony, you were gonna say something. You have a cartoon you liked?
Gosh, I'm trying to think.
Doesn't have to be Saturday morning. To be honest, like, I'm trying to remember what was Saturday morning and what wasn't. I know Animaniacs came on after school. I watched that a lot.
Yeah.
Tiny Toons.
Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, hell yeah. You know what I couldn't stand about Beavis and Butthead? Like, that most of the show was them making fun of videos, and then, like, you'd get 2 minutes of, like, an animated, like, adventure. And they would do it so sparingly. Like,
Yeah.
and you watch, like, because my brother got me DVDs like years later on Christmas, and like it's like, oh, cool, the actual episodes, and then they couldn't get the rights for the music they were making fun of. So like the DVD is so short, it's just like because like the actual adventure part was like in between all the music videos, and it was like it ends up being like 7 minutes. So like the episodes like barely. Remember Liquid Television? That was also
Yeah.
on MTV.
Yeah.
I really didn't
Yeah.
get into Beavis and Butthead until they came out with their movie.
Oh, okay.
Beavis and Butthead Do
Yeah.
America. Now they just
That was
came out
good.
with one. I think it's on Paramount or some one of them
Yep.
pluses. Beavis
On
and Butthead
Paramount.
Do the Universe. I haven't seen
gotta
that
check
one
that
yet,
out.
but I haven't seen it yet either. We've been meaning to watch it, but
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces. So
I mean, I don't know. You look at all these old cartoons. I mean, you brought up Ren and Stimpy. I mean, Happy Happy Joy Joy. I mean, everybody kind of knows that. But to me, those were like, you look at like Beavis and Butthead, South Park, Ren and Stimpy. They were like the dark humor. Like if you were able to watch them, a lot of parents didn't allow their kids to watch that stuff. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
South Park just celebrated what, 25 years?
South Park was definitely never for kids, whereas Ren and Stimpy kind of got under the radar for a while,
Yeah.
yeah,
and now it's like a lot of adults that have a darker humor like were weaned on that show, and then everybody else was like a little younger and watched Rugrats, and that was just so squeaky clean. But you also have like the Full House people versus the non-Full House people.
Well,
Like, I'm a non-Full House person.
You have the Full House people versus the Family Matters people. To me.
yep.
Yeah.
Or
I guess
Step by Step, you could throw that in, like the whole TGIF lineup that they had on
Yeah.
Friday nights. What was it? Full
I liked
House,
Perfect
Family
Strangers.
Members. Yeah, that was a
Remember
good
Perfect
show.
Strangers?
Yeah.
I liked that. I didn't like Full House because Full House was just like the worst thing I've ever seen.
I liked
And
Full House just because like Jodie Sweetin was like my age, and I was like I could date her.
yeah,
you know, I'm a kid, but
right. You like anything with like the girl that's in it, like. But I don't think I'd sit through Full House if I liked her. But yeah, like I just I remember that. I remember what was TGIF? It was Perfect Strangers,
Family Matters, Step by
Family
Step.
Matters, Step by Step.
They had so many.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper was in there for a while.
Yeah, Hanging with Mr. Cooper was in there for a while. Oh, Tony's on the move again.
I am.
He's gonna go get his DVD. He's gonna go get his DVD collection of Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh no! I gotta smoke. I gotta smoke before I take these damn beans. I gotta.
How many are you doing? What do you owe beans for?
I'm gonna. Well, I didn't do one last week because I didn't have them, so I was like, I'll be nice and do one this week.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna join you for two.
Cool. All right. When you come back, we'll spin, and then anything else you guys want to touch on? We
Yeah.
of course we missed Andy this week, but
Did we?
I don't know.
I mean,
did.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I think, was on TGIF at some point.
Okay. See, I remember her from Clarissa Explains.
Boy
It All. That
Meets
was one of the
World. I
last
mean,
ones, think.
I'm looking it up. I'm actually cheating
Yeah.
here, but Boy Meets World was a pretty good sitcom back in the day too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Had some good episodes. A lot of those things just go on too long. Like, I think I was saying Scrubs recently. Like that show was decent for a while, but then like it went on too long.
like I'm looking at a top 10. They're only giving me 8. I don't know how they call us a top 10 list, but I'll do the top 8.
There's only been 8 on
But
TGIF.
like number 8, like for the top, it's top 8 greatest TGIF shows. 8 was Step by Step, which I think we all remember that one.
Remember that dude Cody on that show?
Yep.
Yeah.
You remember you guys were into like Chuck Norris type stuff back then because he was big into that. He was
Yep.
into one of those types of movies, right? Bloodsport or something. What the fuck was he in?
With Chuck Norris.
No, he was like a Chuck Norris. He
Oh,
had like
yeah.
he had a movie where he was like showing off his his karate. Or
His
whatever. He
karate
was big
stuff.
into that.
Yeah, I can't remember
Yeah.
which one that was. What he was in. 7 was Sabrina the Teenage Witch. 6 was Muppets Tonight. That only aired
Wow.
for like a couple years
Don't even know about that
in the
one.
90s, late 90s. Boy Meets World was 5. Full House was number 4.
Good.
3, I can't believe none of us remember this, but Dinosaurs.
I remember Dinosaurs. Not the mama.
Not the mama.
I watched that not too long ago.
I can't believe that was. I didn't remember that being Friday.
They
I think
actually
that was
let
like
they let
season
that
or
out on a they let that out on a streaming service. I can't remember what one, but it's out on a streaming service. You can actually relive dinosaurs.
That's pretty
I think it's
decent. I liked all
on-
their puns.
I think it might be Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Disney Plus.
You know what I like?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, before we go away from dinosaurs real quick, like the puns, like Howard Hand Up Me was the name of the dinosaur on the news. Literally, like there's a
Yeah.
hand like controlling him like a puppet. Howard Hand Up Me.
Yeah.
And then Sinclair was the last name of the dinosaur family, and that's of course like an oil company.
Yeah.
So like that's what they became, like fucking fossil fuel.
It's hilarious. I mean, but that goes back to the Easter eggs that they did them back then too. There was stuff in these, and that's what makes it
Yeah.
fun.
And you don't see that now. Like
No.
you don't see like the cleverness, which is why everybody likes this wrestling thing because it's kind of like behind the curtain kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, 2 and 1.
Two
You gonna
was
say
Family
Family
Matters. Two was Family Matters, and one it was Perfect Strangers.
Wow. I would rate that too. I mean, fucking Full House would be 11, but yeah, it's like what a kid's gloves show. What a fucking and people reference that show like it was like a dynasty to them, and I just like was too old when that came out like to fall for its bullshit. I guess, and that was the same way with me with the complete ripoff of Ren and Stimpy, which is SpongeBob. You guys might be young enough to like actually care about SpongeBob. I see that and it's too loud. It's too much like not as good as Ren and Stimpy. But that's just me. You guys like SpongeBob?
I'll watch it, but I'd rather watch Ren and Stimpy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're all like we've all said, we all said we're around the same age, so I mean.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it is me and how much of it is my age, because I could be a pretty hard pecker, with stuff that a lot of people like, but
Well, I didn't really have a choice back in those days either. So, I had a youngin' at that age, so I had to fucking watch Barney and fucking SpongeBob and oh my gosh, Barney, that was the worst.
At least you didn't have Blippi. At least you didn't have to raise a kid with Blippi.
Yeah.
So I looked up like best Saturday morning cartoons like for the 90s. I got a top 20 list. We'll go through it kind of quick. If there's anything you guys want to touch on in this list for the top 20, we can stop talking about each one. But 20th was Pinky and the Brain. I don't know if any of you guys watch Pinky and the Brain at all.
I was a fan. That was an offshoot of Animaniacs, so naturally I was a fan.
Right.
Yeah.
19 was Recess, which I don't know if I ever really knew that one.
Me
I
neither.
don't think so either.
18 was Cat Dog. I mean, that was just a weird
you mentioned
cartoon,
that.
but it was a good cartoon. 17 was Pingu. I don't know what Pingu was. Looks like a bunch of penguins. We never really did bring up Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo. Yeah, that was all over the place, though. And there's iterations of that upon iterations. So,
To me,
which one are you talking about?
Well, it was a cartoon back in the 90s,
Right.
I mean, this was actually 76 to 78, but they replayed it for years and years and years.
So I like those.
Like the old cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah. The Hanna-Barbera ones.
Yeah.
That they're still sticking around.
Yep. 15 was Hey Arnold. We never really said anything about Hey Arnold. Football
Hey,
head.
Arnold. Never watched it, but I was aware of it.
Blue's Clues.
Oh my gosh, that's another one.
Pokemon. They still do that nowadays. Arthur.
None of the Pokemons. Arthur, yeah. Is that thing that looks like a friggin' looks like an animal?
Yeah.
Yeah, like an anteater kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is that what he was?
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know
what he
if
kind
that
of.
was. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
Backtalk us at gmail.com. Backtalksus@gmail.com and tell us what the fuck Arnold was supposed to be.
Arthur. Yeah.
And Arnold. He had a football head.
Arnold was so I've always thought this was Hey Arnold
like
a grown up version of Stewie or what?
Yeah, yeah. Did he steal that?
Did they steal that? Did Family Guy steal that?
Oh God, it appears I am Arnold, grown up. Or whatever, not grown up.
11 was Animaniacs.
Love it.
10 was Batman the Animated Series.
Love that. Remember the pokey boobs?
Yeah.
How they had the point. That was like the pointy boob show. It's like I grew up thinking like girls had pointy boobs.
Pointy boobs.
Is that where Madonna got it from?
Possibly. 9 was Dexter's Laboratory.
Never watched it.
8 was the Magical School Bus. I think we all watched that in school at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Watch a version of that.
Magical School Bus drives into your colon.
I never heard of Banana Man. That's
Me
number
neither.
7.
That's my nickname in college.
Banana Man.
They made a cartoon. They made a cartoon about that. Gotta get some money.
Well, it kind of looks like you. I mean, I don't know.
I'll have to look it up.
You have to look up Banana Man.
Huh? Not like a banana hammock.
No. 6 was Courage the Cowardly Dog.
What is it?
Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was just a weird animated show back in the day.
Never heard of
99.
that.
Ran 99 to 2002.
Yeah, I was 19.
5 was Spider-Man the animated series.
Okay. A lot of those too. So a lot of iterations of that.
The Adventures of Tin Tin Tin. And I think I remember watching that when I was younger. It only ran for like a year or two.
They made a movie.
The Adventures of Tintin. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was a Spielberg movie.
It might have been.
Yeah.
This is a weird list because now we got the animals of Farthing Wood.
The fuck? What is there? Like English people? English people in this thing?
bunch of rabbits and squirrels. 2 was Dragon Ball Z. That ran from 89 to 96, and now that's just big in cards. I mean, Dragon Ball Z is big again. And 1 was Rugrats, according to this list.
That list is written by somebody that's like.
That was on
32.
digitalconverters.uk. That's the UK. So.
Oh.
That's why. That explains it.
I mean, we never really did touch on, when you're talking about animated cartoons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm. And also going back to stuff you collected, I will not part with certain Ninja Turtles action figures that I still have. So
I think I still have some of them. I still have one of them old turtle comms. You flip them open, you can beep at people like you're talking on it.
We had, me and this friend that lived a couple doors down, we collectively had a collection, or together had a collection. And between the both of us, we had the pizza thrower, the van, we had the Technodrome. We had a bunch of stuff.
The Technodrome.
And then we got the offshoot. When you got bored with all the other ones, they started making ones that like eventually became like part of the cartoon, but they clearly wanted to sell toys first. So like we just bought like different type turtles. Like there's like I have like a fucking beach going like Michelangelo somewhere. I have like a duck guy somewhere. I don't even remember a duck being one of them. But
Did
yeah.
Did any of you get into the Jetsons at all or Flintstones?
Yeah, I watched both of those. Thought it was cool. Did you see the crossover episode? Where the Jetsons go back in time and visit the Flintstones? Mm-hmm. That was cool.
I mean, you always had Inspector Gadget as well. I mean, I don't know if you guys watch that. Or Dennis the Menace.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah. What about Danger Mouse?
Danger Mouse.
Talking about Brits, that was a British cartoon.
Yep. Chippendale.
I just remember Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Yep.
Garfield.
Garfield and Friends. Yeah, because they couldn't come up with a whole half hour of Garfield, so you had to go fucking hang out with Heathcliff or whatever. Or Heathcliff was a separate thing too, and then Heathcliff had and Friends, and then the other part of Heathcliff was Sucky.
Yeah.
Like the other part, like the friggin' like Barnyard. Yeah. I think Garfield had like Barnyard Friends. So you watch like half Garfield, half Barnyard Friends.
Yeah, because you had Odie, and then you had the Friends was like a duck, a pig, and a rooster. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just like filler.
I mean, you had Charlie Brown back in the day as well. I mean.
Yep. And I just read somewhere that they're not airing The Great Pumpkin. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I didn't look into it. I don't know if that's some cancel thing or something. Some old. What it always is like, I feel like people are more sensitive now about certain things than they were then. So like they can't show it now because something has changed. That's a different sensitivity now. But like I still see the point in that. Like just put like a thing on there. Like this was made in 1989, where like we said this and that, and it wasn't a big deal. You watch like PG-13 PG movies now, and like from like the 80s, and you're like, how the fuck did they get away with this stuff? And you look at the
Right.
back, you're like, PG.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then you see a PG movie now, and like I can't even sit through it because it's so unrealistic. And I'm like, nobody would have said that.
Yeah, and you have like those good ones back in the day where PGs were like Weird Science.
Yeah, you got like side boob and everything. You got
Yeah,
yeah, what the fuck happened? You
they're
got too
standing in the
sensitive.
shower wearing their bathing suits. You know, while she's just sitting there taking a shower. Yeah.
The mere suggestion of it at all, you know,
Mm-hmm.
of like developing a girl on the computer that you make take her clothes off and get showered in front of you.
You ever see Weird Science?
Weird Science.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch that.
That would just be like a ghastly thing to watch now with sensitivity. He's like, oh my God, what? They're making this girl do these things? Like, they're watching her in the shower? Like, yeah.
Especially when they're
kids-
designing her and they're making the boobs, you know,
Yeah.
like huge.
Kids that age wanted to get laid. What the fuck are you what do you
That's
think's out
because
there now?
that's because that's all we wanted to do when we were a kid. Is we
Right.
were worried about it.
Some of us still worry about it.
I'm
You
gonna
know, like,
I'm gonna bring up one more cartoon, and this is gonna go into a little segue just because I want your guys' thoughts on it. I don't know if any of you have seen it. Either one of you have seen the previews for it. But Winnie the Pooh. Have you seen the new trailer for the movie that they're coming out with?
no.
It's called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, what's
Chris-
like Rob Zombie doing it?
Yeah, horror
Christopher
movie.
Robin. It's a horror movie. Christopher Robin goes back 20 years later. In the preview, this is how it goes. And to introduce his fiance / new wife, one of the two, to his friends. And they went wild. And they're murdering people.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been 20 years.
It's been 20 years. He left them. I mean, what do you think's going to happen?
Exactly.
Go watch the trailer. We could talk about it next week. But
Hell
I saw
yeah.
the trailer this weekend, and I mean, Halloween Ends did come out last weekend. We have not watched it yet, but I know a lot of people that have. And they said it's pretty good.
You're
You know,
gonna watch
Halloween,
that?
I will watch it just because I've been a Halloween movie
Yeah.
freak my whole life.
Well, I'm a big
section.
Carpenter fan, but
Yeah.
he's long out of the picture. But
I've been a Halloween fan, movie fan, pretty much since the beginning when I was a kid. You know.
I just don't like, and I'm like this with Saw. Like I won't ever agree to this later on because it's such like a taboo thing to like this weird torture porn stuff that Saw falls into. It's not about that for me. I think that for a while they had a good storyline.
Yeah.
And I kind of watched Saw 1 with like, just because everybody saw that, you know? And I was like, wow, this has a pretty good story, you know? And like a nice little, like, not like spoiler alert, like the ending when he gets up and he was the killer all along. Like I'm like blown away. Like no movie, you know, it's worth watching the next 12 just because
You don't
that
know
was so
what's
good.
gonna happen. The
Yeah.
funny thing is with the first Saw movie, if you sit there and watch it, you can see him move all the way through the movie if you go back and watch
Oh yeah?
it. He moves positions all the time, so you can watch the other
Huh.
person. Yep. But
Wow.
my sister-in-law actually is not a horror movie fan, but she's the one that got us into the first Saw, and we've watched every one of them since. Like, I had to go to the theater to watch them, and the story was great. Have they drag it out too long? Yeah, in my opinion, because they end
But
at
with-
some point. But
Yeah, but
But
like,
you're still
with you
intrigued.
with you and Halloween, like me and Saul, it's like I was gonna ask you, and it was gonna be an asshole move on my part because if you put this back on me with Saul, I would disagree. But like I'm saying to you, like I'm pretty sure the last 3 movies, like Jason was like, not Jason, I'm sorry, fucking Mike Myers was gonna die tonight. You
Yeah.
know, like for the last 3, like Michael Jackson's gonna die tonight. No, Mike Myers is gonna die tonight. Mike Myers is gonna die tonight. Like the whole town fucking killed him in the last episode, and then Joe, like
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back. Ooh, you know, and then she's coming back, and then she's coming back. She's gonna finish the job. But then I'm like, well, why do you keep watching this? And then you're like, well, how many Saws do they need to make? I'm like, they can keep making them. I don't care that they ended it at 7, and there have been 4 since then. Like,
yeah,
like fuck you. Like you don't get it. Like they weren't done at 7, obviously,
yeah.
because
It's a movie. It's a franchise. I think they can just keep going and going and going. I mean, we were talking about the Fast and the Furious franchise for a while back, and have they gone too far with it? Yes, but in the same aspect, for an action movie, people still love it. You know?
Yeah, it was like the whole thing where like, are they superheroes at this point?
Yeah.
You know, because like, but I think the first one is just like fast cars and like physics is still a thing.
Yeah.
And then by now it's like, that same thing happened to John McClane over time.
Yep.
You know. But we better do these beans before.
Yeah. Go ahead and do your guys' beanies. Tony talked himself into it today. I did myself last week.
I'm being nice.
That's how I felt
All right.
last week.
I can't wait till
So-
next week when Andy's doing all this shit.
That's if he gets them.
Oh, he will. I'll make sure I'll put him in my car.
I got berry blue or toothpaste. Do you want to match me on that, or do you want to spin your own?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna match you on that.
And how about you spin the next one?
Then I'll do the next one.
Oh boy.
Oh crap!
Now you do have an option. I'm going to take this option because I'm going to say this now. I'm going to save this one for the second one. Because if it ends up being toothpaste and I don't have a chaser, I'd rather have this.
Good call.
So you,
I'm gonna do that too.
so you spin, and we'll eat this one first.
Okay.
I think if Andy were here, he wouldn't allow that rule.
No.
He wouldn't. All right. So we got pomegranate or old bandage.
Fuck.
I know.
I hated
Can I
that
get
one
lucky
so.
again?
Tony, I think your luck has run out. Plus, you won twice this week.
I hope so. We're gonna find out. Hopefully, I get lucky.
I can
All
like
right.
smell these at this point.
Gosh.
Well, you
wish I
guys
could
are getting
smell
ready to do that. Well, I'll cover while you guys get your beans ready, I'm going to cover next week's fantasy matchups. I get to play Christina. No fun.
She just beat me.
Ooh.
Congratulations, Christina. You just beat me this week.
So, you guys might need to make a bet next week. Who's going to win between you two in fantasy football?
Oh, we're playing each other.
Uh-oh.
Pomegranate.
No.
Which one's that?
I might have to make. It's the red with like the pinkish dots
Yeah.
on it.
Mouse gets to play Asphalt Guy. Boyd and Andy get to play, and Nelly gets to play Paul Vosberg and Mean Machine.
Okay, guys. Does this look like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. A good
All
week
right.
of fantasy matchups.
All right, what's this gonna? I don't even want to know. You said old bandage.
Yeah. I better grab my drink.
Pomegranate.
Ah,
Justin's out of luck. He drank all of his iced coffee.
I fucking did. I might have root beer over there. Hold on a second.
Well, that's good, because that's what Tony's drinking as well.
Well, I have root beer ice. That's good enough. Root beer ends of the cup, whatever melted. All right, so bottoms up.
Cheers.
Cheers. I got pomegranate. Oh, my God.
We got two winners right now.
It's glorious.
Well, is this even a loser coming up if you each get toothpaste?
I'm glad it's toothpaste. You know, because I saw my mom for shits and giggles. I said, I got this thing for this and that. And then she was like, you want to try one? She said, sure. She got toothpaste. I'm like, normally you'd go, yeah, it's toothpaste. And then, but she's like, yeah, so what? It's toothpaste. I got to say, I'm not a fan of pomegranate.
You took the other one already?
No.
No, he's still chewing the pomegranate, trying to get the taste of it.
I mean, I'm glad it's not old bandage, but I'm pretty good on pomegranate for a while.
Well, toothpaste
All
will
right.
wash it down.
1, 2, 3. What's this going to be? Berry blue?
Or toothpaste.
Oh. Yeah, it's toothpaste.
Yep, toothpaste. Not bad.
I don't see how they could put this one in there and say that's a bad flavor.
No. This is like my gum.
Yeah, that's what it's basically like.
It's like a
gum.
spearmint gum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Nice.
all it is.
Yeah, they must have like wanted to go home early that day.
They
Yeah.
must have.
We're just going to do toothpaste for berry blue. There's
Like,
nothing else can
toothpaste
go
is a shitty
blue. There's nothing else we can put in there for blue. We're just going to just call it toothpaste. Call it cool.
What? I mean, what's this bad for? Like meth heads that don't want to brush their teeth?
I'm glad I lucked out.
That was a good choice there, Tony, on doing that with him.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're about ready to wrap this up, guys. We'll go around the table and get the guys' last thoughts. We'll start with Justin. His thumbs up, dude.
Yeah, it's Fallout.
It
That's
is
another
Fallout.
thing I wanted to show earlier. I saw this for like reduced, like half price one time in Target, and I bought it because I fucking love Fallout. I'm currently playing Fallout 76, which was like, you know, quote unquote abortion when it came out, but I don't have any problems. I guess if you wait 5 years, they work out all the kinks. So I think I'm about ready to try what is Cyberpunk next.
I actually
Remember
tried
you?
to play it, and I just never really got into it. But I'm gonna give it another shot. It's a good game.
Yeah. That was another one of those like things where it was just a failure because it didn't work well when it came out.
Yeah, it just didn't work when it came out. That's why I want to give it another shot. I just haven't had. I'll
Yeah.
do that this winter. But
Well, to finish today, I'll just touch on one more thing I wanted to say. But Fallout 76 is like the first one where you can play online with other people, and I do see people online running around, but I've only been killed by one. And pretty much everybody else, if I wave to them, they wave back and they don't kill me because they're doing what I'm doing, which is just going through the campaign. But that's pretty interesting. I get nervous when I see people online because, you know, they'll just smoke you because they want to watch the world burn. But other than that, let's have a good week. And hopefully Andy comes back next week. He has a... I heard he wasn't sick. I heard he was trying to get in on that WWE action. So he heard UFC was going to buy him, and then he's like, well, now let me go to the, what's it called, and see if I can make a purchase.
maybe he secretly won the Mega Millions without us.
And he's buying
He's buying
WWE.
WWE right now.
That rat
Well,
bastard.
I'm gonna check his ticket. Oh yeah, I won $2, so I guess I'll have to buy an extra Powerball ticket for us on Monday. So
That
Anybody
is
check my
today.
numbers? Because I didn't.
That is today.
What's that? That we have to buy it?
shit, you're right. It is my. Wow.
As people don't
Wait.
know, we record this on Mondays.
Wait, so what's Friday's ticket called?
Yeah, that was
Go.
last week.
Mega Millions
Yeah,
Mega Millions. When do they call that?
last Friday.
Friday.
Oh, so they called it on the day I got this.
It
Yeah.
should say on the bottom of your ticket.
What day they
should
were
tell.
calling it.
Yeah.
Oh, right underneath the things, Friday, October 14th.
So that's when they drew. So your numbers have been drawn. Maybe you're the Mega Millions winner.
Yeah. I just go to Wawa and I scan it and it says no winner. So until I do that, I won't know.
You can look them
that's
up.
it.
You can look up your numbers if you wanted to, just to make sure, because there's a couple things you should do before you go turn that thing in.
Yeah. Well, if it says, "Oh my God, you're a winner," I'll run right the fuck out.
Well, you're a winner of the jackpot. Get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Go run right home, Charlie.
How about you, Tony? Last words.
Oh, well, it was fun. Just us three hanging out, you know, it was a good time. So we didn't get angry and have to have Justin, you know, play the piano all night for us. So
No, it was more like this.
yeah, see,
Kind of low key is today.
yeah, nice and mellow,
Yep.
you know. And if you guys are watching, you know, on wherever you can watch us, sorry you didn't get to see our reactions to our beans. We got lucky this week, so that's good.
I'm glad. Finally.
So what do you think we should make him do next week? Because he's got to do something. So
Who, Andy?
yeah.
Well, I don't know. We've all missed a show, and this could come back to backfire on us bad.
That is true.
I don't know. Well,
We'll come up with it next week. Hi, let's let the fans decide.
Yeah.
back talk us.
Yep.
Backtalk us at gmail.com. What should Andy's punishment be for being sick this week or buying WWE or whatever the heck he's doing right now?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
That-
I don't know if he's really sick. Because I seen they were, you know, on fall break or whatever, and they were at, like, Dick's Last Resort. So, you know, I don't know what his little paper hat said. I couldn't see that. But maybe that's what it was.
Oh, yeah. He's not sick. He's trying to get dick.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he didn't want me to come over because he's still wearing it. because he's proud of it, and he didn't want me to see it. So he's like, "No, I'm sick."
I like
Yeah.
dick is probably what it said. Yeah.
Hope you
No.
guys
Oh.
enjoy. You know,
Yeah, I went ahead and watched Clerks 3, so you guys don't have to.
They came out with the Clerks 3.
Yeah.
you
Didn't
didn't
know
know that?
Kevin Smith has the delivery of the subtle delivery with every emotion like that of a wrecking ball. That's all I'm gonna say. Like you know how Pixar type movies can make you like cry or almost want to,
Yeah.
because they're good filmmakers. Well, Kevin Spacey, another great Kevin. Kevin Smith kind of sees that and like tries to deliver on that, but he's not subtle. You know, first of all,
Man.
both main characters have heart attacks in the movie, so it begins there.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
but for me, it's fucking terrible. So you might think it's great, people listening out there, but don't take my word for it. Just watch it. But I was a fan of the first one because it had very little sincerity. You know, you kind of
Yeah.
watch it because it's brash, and he tried to do both of those things, both in the second and the third one. But at this point, I don't know. I mean, is his wife writing it? You know, it's just so bad. Anyway, watch it and let me know if you liked Clerks 3. Back talk us BACC Talk US at gmail.com. Tell me I'm a fucking idiot.
You're a fucking idiot because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, and Bullet Train was pretty good.
But yeah, with that, I think we'll wrap this up. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Andy, we did miss you, even though who knows what you're doing, but hope you're buying WWE and we get to actually do our own promotion there now. Tony said he'd be the writer. Justin will
And
be
I
the
hope
manager of something.
and I hope whatever decisions you make, Jim Cornette likes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, fuck him. Oh, fuck the Paul brothers.
Yeah, they all like they still have message back. We didn't get to see the emails because Andy gets them.
If you want to have a real fight, you could fight Andy and Dustin. Yeah.
All right. With that being said, everybody tits up. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for enjoying the show.